Shut up and sit down. Shut up and sit down.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of Build, Paint, Play. I'm Dave.
I'm Jake, and today we are joined by Zack from Trench Crusade. So I'm excited. Oh, he's over here this time?
No, I think you're right.
That was all right?
It looks like you got me.
Oh, I thought he was like pointing this way, like I made a mistake. I was like, okay.
Oh, no.
On my screen, he's over here. So usually that means he's actually over here.
You need to flip your screen. I don't know what you need to do.
No, but I'm in StreamYard. I'm not watching it on YouTube.
Oh, there we go.
Anyways, we're joined by Zack, so we're excited. We just saw Zack almost not quite 2 weeks ago at Nova, so that was a good time. But yeah, we're going to talk some Trench Crusade, some community building, and see what else we get into.
Yeah, it's going to be very cool. I think we're going to we'll do a bunch of different things. But first up, now that I've been back for a week, back from Australia for a week, I had a chance to get some hobbying done. What about you guys? So, Zack, have you had a chance to do any hobby in the last week?
Yeah, yeah. You kind of get the con bug after, at least I do, like coming back from Adepticon and like this time Nova, like walked in the door and immediately like threw my stuff down and just sat down at my desk. Most of my focus recently has been going to my Knights of Avarice warband that I'm running in our local campaign here in Chicago. It's been a lot of fun. We're running a campaign. It's actually the same one that we ran at Nova. And so we're doing that as a protracted campaign. And it's based on the Kingdom of Gold, like Mali. So I elected to do a Somali Knights of Avarice warband. So I was doing a bunch of research on like pre-colonial Somalian textiles and naming conventions and all kinds of stuff. So I could bash a bunch of stuff. So I've been painting a lot of very fine lines.
Awesome.
But it's super fun to play around with. Yeah.
What minis are you using for that?
They are a mix of Bistarum bits, Factory Fortresses, Trench Crusade bits. There's some various little gubbins and stuff from GW. There's all kinds of stuff going on in there. Yeah.
Right. Excellent. So the for those who don't know, the Knights of Avarice, that's a Heretic Legion sort of sub.
Yeah, they're a subfaction for the Heretic Legion that are patroned by Mammon, who is the the entity of greed and hell. So I mean, you're attacking the city or the Kingdom of Gold. who better to send you?
I think one of my favorite things about it is that so a normal game is anywhere between like 700 or 900 ducats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can have models that range from like 200 to 20. So you have crazy red shit, 20 ducats a piece. But the Knights of Avarice, there's a minimum value.
Yeah, 85 ducats, I think. Yeah. So they're so bound by greed that like you have to be a certain kind of wealthy to even be patroned by Mammon. Yeah. So you end up running like over geared, like standard line troops, which so far has been a lot of fun. I typically would play Naval Raiders, which is a very different play style. But with Knights, I'm having a really good time just because the actual gameplay mechanics are like vastly different while still feeling like Heretic Legion. I also get to use the Assault Werewolf now, which is the first like to have it in like a multiple game setting, and it's a lot of fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. How about you, Jake? You have a chance to
I got a little done. So I have Lysanders all trimmed and cleaned. I was gonna work on them this weekend, but I'm getting prepped for Granite State Comic Con, so I have to like prep and prime a bunch of minis and get everything boxed up for that. So I'll probably be running around doing that all week. I finished pinning and building my Infinity dudes, the JSA guys.
Okay.
Those like beautiful models. I forgot how much I dislike working with metal and pinning stuff, but
I'm gonna say I doubt you forgot. I'm sure you remembered.
I did, but I also was like, so originally, like I tried building Infinity, like this is probably 10, 15 years ago with some friends of mine. And again, the models are awesome, but like the sculpts are super old school. So there's like a flat shoulder on a torso, and then there's like a flat arm, a flat inner shoulder, and it's two flat surfaces. And with super glue, that's not great. So, we used to, hack it up with a knife to make some texture, and then I would pin it a little bit. So I knew going into this that they were going to be like that. So I said to a friend of mine, I don't really want to go through that again. And Jay, a buddy who runs Warzone, was a friend of the show. He's a buddy of ours. And he was like, you should go with some of the newer kits because the new ones, they sculpted them with plugs. Right. So like the shoulder has a gap and then the arm has a plug and you put the tab in the plug. And I was like, oh, that should help. Not really. Like, I mean,
it's a flat surface. Yeah.
It's better. It's like 3 flat surfaces. So it's better, but I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to pin everything. So I used a little bit of one of my cheats all back in the day was I would take a little bit of like either like a teeny tiny speck of green stuff or like poster tack or putty and put it in there, drill a hole, and then drill a hole in the arm and then use the putty to kind of like stick together while the glue sets up. And I have friends who are like, you should use accelerator. And I'm like, you shouldn't use accelerator. And they're like, wow. I was like, accelerator makes the glue more brittle. Like it makes it dry quicker, but it makes it work less efficiently. And they, like I said, they were fun. The kits are great. They really, really are really well made. The detail on them is awesome. And the JSA guys are very like, sort of like cyberpunk samurai kind of vibes. Like they're super cool looking. So I dig that. And then I don't know if you guys saw or Dave might have saw in the factory group, the factory team Discord that we have. It's all of us that are on the team. Somebody posted, I don't know who makes them. They're like, it's New Antioch, but they did them in like a Japanese style.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So like the big like armored infantry dudes, they look like the things from Sucker Punch. Like the big samurai with like the hat and like the assault cannon, and I was like, oh man, that kind of looks rad. So I might try to get those. I got to figure out who makes them. It's in the thread. I forget who it is, but they're really cool looking. I don't even know if they're out yet. They just look cool. And then the other half of my Lysander project is so Zach. I don't know if you haven't watched the last couple weeks, but so Dave and I are basically doing a couple projects, and what I'm trying to do is I'm repainting Lysander. And I painted the original Lysander and Shrike when they came out at Games Workshop, and we were working there, and I had to paint them for the case. And the guys in the team were like, "You should repaint them using all the new stuff and like all the stuff you've learned over the last 20 years." So it's not Shrike, but it's Shrike. I mean, it's Ethan Shan, and I'm painting the new Lysander, and I'm going to paint them and then show them off side by side against the original ones that I did. But I just picked him up today. Like It's not out yet technically, but I didn't buy it. Like it's from the store supplies. So, but yeah, that's
It's a
kind
really
of
cool model.
I mean, the model is amazing. It comes with like 3 different heads. You can make like, crazy old man, like Cypher head. You can have like the cool comb over Space Marine head, or you can have like that mask. I'm going to do the mask. I always like helmeted heads. And the original one I did is a helmeted head. So, last thing I'll throw out there, if anybody hasn't watched Star Trek Strange New Worlds, chef's kiss. I just finished season 3. It is amazing. That show is so well done.
So good.
But that's another hobby of mine is watching, like, just crushing seasons of television. So
nice. Did you watch that like season 3 all in one go? Like,
no, I mean I started it maybe the week before Nova. I watched 1 or 2 episodes, and then I watched a couple episodes last week. And then my wife is away on a business trip. She's gone for 3 weeks. I'm literally unsupervised. So I watched 1 episode a couple nights ago, and then last night I watched the last 2 episodes to get to finish out the season. I thought it was 12 episodes. So when I finished episode 10, I was like, wait, there's no more? I was a little stunned. But I saw that it got renewed for a 4th season, so that's good news.
Yep.
It's fun. If anybody likes Star Trek, it's phenomenal. And then next year we're going to get season 4, and that'll come out probably in the summer. And then in the spring, we're supposed to get Starfleet Academy, which should be cool. I love Star Trek. It's also kind of the escape that we all need right now. It's it's a post-scarcity utopia. And I was like, where science is king. And I was like, this is awesome. Like, why can't we have this now? We're about to hit the point in all the time travel where oh, shit's about to go sideways. Like there's going to be, food riots, and the Noonien Singh and his dudes are going to try to take over. We're about to hit that period of time. So
yeah, the water wars are about to start.
I don't like any of that.
No.
Excellent.
How about you, Dave? How many thousands of points of Marines did you paint this week?
Well, just quickly before I do get into that, I'm going to say hi to Scott, hi to Kat, Mark Maxey, Josh Potter, Mike Sibilia, Alan is here as well. Saying, but yeah, Bite the Bullet Studio makes those
okay,
Japanese samurai style minis.
Nice.
Oh, Steve is here.
Yeah, that's them. Those are sick.
Dave Hummel, Cosmic Kraken is here.
Hey.
Sullivan, who's this Zach guy? No, we haven't really talked yet, have we? So, and Maleva's joined us as well. Hello.
What's going on,
everybody? So yeah,
Zach, you looking at them?
Yeah, I'm checking them.
Yeah, they're sick.
That's pretty cool.
I had some crazy hobby like ADHD. I knew I needed to come back and I said last week I was going to paint up my first lance for BattleTech. I have painted some. You'll see a photo a little bit later on.
What did you think of working with the minis themselves? I like them. I think they're fun.
We can talk about that when we get to them.
Okay.
Because I've got a whole bunch of other stuff. As I said, I did a whole bunch of things. I said I was going to play games on Saturday. I didn't play games on Saturday. I got my timing wrong. It's this coming Saturday. I'll play the first 2 games of the Trench Crusade campaign, which is awesome. So in preparation for that whole thing, I needed to add a shield to one of my Hell Knights. So I popped a shield on his back. I've got to paint that up. I did a little bit of digital kit bashing and stretching for to create an Ophidian rifle for one of my Hell Knights. I'm going to paint that as well. I printed some Yoke Fiends for my Court of the Seven-Headed Serpent force.
Nice.
I was almost finished painting 4 of the minis from Bombshell Minis, Sacred Costalera, like Trench Pilgrim Proxy Force. And rather than finishing off those 4, I started working on another 12.
That's the Dave I know.
Classic.
There we go.
I have 16 that all just need to be have all the metal areas painted black and then metal, and then they'll be done.
Classic Dave. I was gonna paint this squad, but I decided to paint like a whole company.
Well, I didn't finish the whole company. That's the thing. And then,
but you will.
I will, yeah. I got some. I got the STLs from Black Site Studios for their Space Truckers group, which is basically the not the crew of the Nostromo.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because I'm with my other gaming group, I'm playing going to be playing some 7TD for the next couple of months, which is a game from Crooked Dice in the UK. So yeah, I'm playing with Ripley and Dallas and Ash and Lambert and Parker and Brett.
That's awesome.
And Jonesy. But the cool thing about having the STLs is when I initially printed them out, I looked at them and I was like, these feel a little bit small. I know. I'll increase the size by 8%. And I printed some others out and I was like, this is perfect. It was just that's the most amazing brain shift for my hobby for ages. So for those, I'm going to paint those really quickly and easily. I've sprayed them black and dark blue and then hit them with some white from the front. And I'm going to put a yellowy orange sort of glaze over it. So it looks like the flashing things. I'm sure it won't be.
Sure they look wet too. Everything's wet in that movie.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just water everywhere.
Yeah, it was surprisingly humid in a deep space ship. I was like, wouldn't that be extremely dangerous? Because you're like, oh, there's a pressure leak. Everything freezes. Now the entire ship is covered in ice. You're like, that seems bad.
Yeah.
That's just the atmosphere processors are.
They're clearly not working right.
It's a thunderstorm in the cargo bay, but it's fine.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I don't think the company's too worried about that.
No.
It's like, what are you guys mining? They're like, moisture. We're mining and carrying moisture. That's what we do here. I'm like, okay. I figured out why your robot went bad. His systems got wet.
Well, that's how the extent starts, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what I've been doing. I've got 4 things on the go. We'll see if I can get any of them completed by next Tuesday.
Right on, man.
We'll see how we go.
I think when I get back from Granite State, I think I'm gonna see if a buddy of mine is willing to print some stuff. So I might see if he can print some of these up. This is a weird question for you guys, and you guys will probably both know because I haven't done this yet. When you print stuff off a site, I'm assuming you buy the STLs or whatever, but how do you know what scale to print it at? Is it set at something and then you kind of mess with it, or do you just put in whatever parameters you want, kind of thing?
The first one.
So it does have a setting. Okay.
Yeah. The sculptor sets the scale, and then you can tweak from there if you need to.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Exactly. And generally these 6 models for the Nostromo crew were not much resin at all. So
nice.
It was nice. Even with super expensive resin, it would have been I can afford to go toss those.
Yeah. It's pennies.
Yeah. Excellent.
Oh, Phil just jumped on. What's up, Phil?
Cool. And Phil's
there. Sorry, I meant reigning Trench Crusade champion. Phil just jumped on. That's what I meant.
There we go.
World champion.
Yeah, world champion.
Phil Holt, Phil the Glacial Geek. And Sammy has joined us as well.
Oh, excellent.
What's going on?
So cool. So should we jump into things?
Yeah, for sure.
I will let you know, Jake, we've got a ton of photos from Zack. He asked for photos from organizers around the world. They sent him hundreds of photos.
Holy God, okay.
He narrowed it down to about 80 photos, and I narrowed it down even more. So,
all right, let's roll. We got to get to that.
We do have a little bit of extra time though, because we haven't got quite as many community photos this time around. So,
well, we do have community photos. It just sounds like they're not our normal community.
It's all community photos.
Sure, it's all community photos. That's what we do here.
Yeah. So let's have a look at our wonderful slideshow. Let's get this started. Are you ready, Zach?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go.
Cool. There we go. So, of course, the first thing we do is we thank our season sponsor, the Army Painter. And who is that delightful head?
Come on, who else has a mohawk? It's that is me sitting on my front porch, or my side porch actually, while the dogs are running around the backyard while working on. I think that's not Firestar. That's Sunfire. from Marvel United.
Okay, cool.
Super cool. The markers work great. I think the biggest thing I would tell people is it's like working with like a size 2 brush that you don't need to like redip. Is essentially like that's basically how it works. The tips are not. It's like a Sharpie, but the tips are a little softer. It's not really like you can't like mash on it. Or I mean, you could, but that would defeat the purpose. But as long as you keep it a nice, neat tip, like you can get in most places. The Marvel United guys are sort of like chibi, and they're like 20. They're 28 mil basically. They're just much more like chonky and like kind of cartoony. But I did this guy with basically 4 colors, and they came out pretty good. The markers are cool. I think the best thing about them is for new people that are really nervous, there's no mess, there's no cleanup, there's no setup. For anybody, I think the coolest thing is you can literally throw these in your backpack and like you could paint on the plane. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing, you don't need water, you don't need a palette. Like it's just the markers. Like it's awesome. And it's the same, the liquid that's in them is the same liquid that the actual speed paints are. So at some point they're going to make refills and stuff, I'm sure, or you could just like add it or something. But once it dries, it's the same effect. So they're a blast though. They were a ton of fun to work with.
Excellent. I'm just going to point out Mike's ability. I said 2 porches.
Yeah.
So disconnected, living in your crystal palace.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's Phil's been here. Phil has been on that porch.
Yep. I would also recommend people go and check out this particular post on the Army Painters Instagram page, so you can see Adam from the Army Painter sitting on the can.
Yeah, I saw that. It's not believable though. He didn't really sell it. He's got his pants on. Like I was like, come on, man,
dude. Let people see that when they go. Don't give it away. Anyway,
they're from Denmark. They're not going to do something like that. That's low class. That's lowbrow. They don't do that.
That's fair. Anyway,
just so he knows with these. So these markers street date on the 20th.
20th.
So you'll be able to, if you order them off their website, they will mail them to you. If you go to your friendly local, you can get them there. And then eventually they're going to add more. Right now, there's the starter set, or there's the intro set, which is 3 markers. It's red, yellow, and green. And then there's like the starter set, which I think is 10 colors. And that's, I think that one's like, yeah, Dave's got it right there. I think it's like, I think that the retail price is like 63 or something like that. So
black, gray, bone, blue, green, yellow, red, orange, brown, and silver.
Yeah, the metallics are going to be game changing. Like those are phenomenal. You can do trim and everything. Like they're great.
Has anyone tried to, just real quick, sorry, with those, do you know of anyone that's had access to them that's tried just getting the watercolor like fountain pen or like fountain brush tips that you just fill with water when you're working with the watercolor markers, and seeing if you could like interact with the speed paint similarly?
I have one or 2 on here on my desk somewhere, but I haven't tried it with speed paints, so
might be worth checking out.
You probably could. The big thing, I mean, the big thing with these versus the watercolor pens, I think, is when you use a watercolor pen, don't you have to use water with the watercolor pen, or do you load it with water?
No, I mean, they have them that have like a reservoir that you would load with water, and then you apply pressure and it'll seep out a little bit.
Squeezes through the.
Okay. I mean, that's
so just be like water working with a brush. Yeah.
That's probably where my guess is that's where they got the idea. Like I know that Army Painter worked with Dave, what's the company?
Oh, Deep Cut Studio.
Yeah, so Deep Cut was kind of working on them, and then they kind of partnered up with Army Painter, and like Roman the Pad is a huge fan of it. So but they're, like I said, they're a blast. They're a ton of fun to work with. And again, there's like zero cleanup. You just chuck them in your bag and
go.
That's cool.
Excellent. Okay, I mentioned my BattleTech stuff.
Do you know what this is, Dave?
This is an atlas.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It's on the card here. See?
That's so you can play either BattleTech or you can play Alpha Strike.
Okay. So I will ask though, on this card, there are two sides, and the sides are different, right?
One should be for Alpha Strike, and one should be for BattleTech.
See, they both say Alpha Strike.
Oh, then one is probably either an ace, which means you'd have an extra feature, or it could have a slightly different weapon loadout.
Right. Okay.
Because it could be like weapon loadout A, weapon loadout B.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that'll be it. Yeah, one's an AS7S and one's an AS7S4.
So the AS7S is the classic Atlas. The AS7S4 obviously must be some kind of upgrade. I don't know what the differences are off the top of my head, but the card probably has slightly different weapons. It's like an Space Marine Intercessor versus a Assault Intercessor. Like they're both intercessors. They just have different loadouts, either pistol, chainsword, or bolt gun. So
yeah, I'm assuming this is the basic guy.
Sure. He looks awesome. I like how you scuffed him up so like his feet are all chipped up. You can see the metal.
I was just
I
looking
wanted
at
to
that.
go through and sort of add that sort of shipping, and also on his knuckles.
Yep. Obviously, because he's punched stuff to death.
Yeah, I hope he does. He punches stuff with those fists, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool.
Most people don't want to get close enough to get punched by an Atlas because they know to stay away. The death said kind of says, "Do not touch," so you don't want to be near him.
Yeah, that's fair. But I did not get the rest of my lance. I got them primed, ready to go.
Do you know what those are?
Yeah, on the left is a Warhammer, on the right is a Blackjack, and the one in the middle is a Locust.
Give it up for Dave, folks. I'm so proud of you, buddy.
I've been working hard.
I know. I'm psyched. It's pretty awesome.
I'm learning. I can learn. But what I'm also going to do this week is while I'm painting up the Warhammer, I'm going to paint it up for the Painting Happy Little Minis article in Game Trade Magazine for the November issue. So I'll get like double duty out of everything.
Nice.
Cool. So we'll have it all done by next week. But yeah, I think the Atlas took me about, I don't know, an hour and a half to do. So
they're really fun minis. There's so much great like texture on them. So anytime you do a wash or speed paint or anything like that, you're just gonna get such a cool like return for your time. And then because of the raised surfaces, you can dry brush them and they pick that up really well. There's so much stuff for your paint to grab.
Yeah. Excellent. So that's our BattleTech Alpha Strike update for this week. You see where I'm at. Hopefully I have all these done by next week, and then I can work on the next lance and do a slightly different approach to those. That's what they're called, right? A lance.
Yep, that's a lance.
Okay, cool. And when it's 5,
it's a star.
It's a star for the clans. Okay, cool. Just learning.
Makes sense.
You're doing great.
Excellent. So speaking of learning,
it's like watching my kids like have to take off the training wheels. I'm like, oh, I'm so proud of you.
Awesome. Yeah, we won't take the training wheels off. Just
no, relax. I'm right here, buddy. I got you.
Thanks, Dad. Excellent. So now let's get into the meat and potatoes of the episode. You did send me this picture, Zach. So
I did. I know. Yeah, it was just like it wasn't because of me though. It's the bathrobe guy.
Yeah.
This is the lesser seen model, the artillery bathrobe.
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
He's
a trench poker
guy. Awesome. Yeah, Clint Beaver is his name.
Yep.
But yeah, super cool that you've got artillery shell. Oh, sorry, a bomb strapped to his back. There we go, Clint Beaver. Fantastic. So, Zach, tell us who you are.
Right on.
We're half an hour into the show, and now let us know who you are.
yeah, that's fine. Like, who is this guy? So my name is Zach. In Discord and stuff, I go by Koza. On Instagram, it's crypt.thing. And I imagine the reason that I am here is that I'm the head of community organization and event management for Factory Fortress Inc., or Trench Crusade is how most people probably interact with the brand. So yeah.
Awesome. So obviously this isn't your first interaction with miniature war games. Trench Crusade. No. What's the elevator pitch for your hobby journey, your origin story?
Sure. So it's really interesting actually that this all kind of segued off of BattleTech because that's where it came from. so I grew up in Florida, and I went to this school in Central Florida called Neptune Middle, and our history teacher had a BattleTech club that I got into. So it was the Neptune BattleTech Club, and we played with all the old. I mean, this is like 99 or 98, I think, and we played with the old metal minis. Yeah. And then, that's right around the birth of like 3rd edition 40K. So some kids started showing up with Space Marines, and everyone was like, "The hell is that?" And that led to me spending every weekend in our local comic book store, playing Warhammer and building terrain for store credit for a couple of years. And then, like most people my age, got a little older, went to school, life stuff happens. And then right around 2021, I was just like, I've got all this free time and I'm not going out and doing anything. So I've got extra money. I've stayed in touch with Warhammer through books and video games and lore YouTube and everything. And I was just like, this Kill Team thing looks cool. And that was a short road into thousands of points of heresy armies and like AOS projects and everything. I've never even played Kill Team. I have like 5 or 6 Kill Teams that I've painted and hobbied up just because I like the kits. Never played the game.
It's good.
Yeah, I hear great things. I've seen it played. It looks awesome. It's just never happened. And so that's since I've been here in Chicago. And we have an incredible community for wargaming here in the city. And I wasn't really jiving. I got into 40K. I wasn't really jiving with it. I was in a narrative league. And the last guy that I actually played 40K with is my buddy Alec. And he was just like, he said something about Mordheim. And I was like, you guys play Mordheim here? That was like my favorite game when I was a kid. And then it segued straight into just like playing Mordheim every week. And we have rotating leagues that we play here in Chicago. And he also got me into Heresy. So thousands and thousands of points later, that's his fault still. But as far as Trench Crusade, I've followed Mike's work since Warhammer Online Age of Reckoning or whatever, the MMO.
Okay.
So I went to school for conceptual design and media, like illustration, concept design stuff. And so he was one of the guys that I kind of like was really drawn to. There's a design artist, Feng Zhu and Brahm, like just a lot of like the bigger names there. But Twitter exists. The algorithm decided to feed me some of the work that he'd been doing recently. And then that segued into jumping in 28 and just kind of being active there. And one day Tomas reached out to me and he was like, "Hey, you got time for a call?" And I was like, "This is really weird." Absolutely. And he, asked if I wanted to be part of the like kind of community support group and like organizing events and kind of fostering the like real grassroots focus that had kind of already been persisting. So, one thing led to another, and now I get to work with these guys, around conference events, supporting event organizers all over the world, trying to chase cats in Discord. And yeah, it's great. I get to travel around to conferences, kind of see what different communities are doing. I got to go up with some of my local Chicago team that wanted to go and have a presence at TMX, which was a ton of fun. So we got to hang out with a lot of the factory team there.
Yeah.
That was a good time. Adepticon was insane this year. That was our first big conference. The team did an incredible job. We knocked out just shy of 500 demos in those like 5 days. At
this point, should we show some more?
Yeah. This was like day 2, I think. One of the other lead organizers in Chicago saw Cliff and he was like, "I want that guy to wear my bomb." I was like, cool. The day had followed and he was over in the area and I was like, "Dude, go ask him." He's like ran over all excited.
you're in the right community. There's no other community where you can say, I want that guy to wear my bomb and not get arrested. Like, people are like, oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you get a cool photo like that. Exactly. Yeah, so this is, this was Adepticon.
This is in someone's basement, obviously.
Yes, a very big one. Yeah, that's
Tom. From his bomb shelter.
Yeah, that's Max von Sydow on Discord. He's great. His demo tables are just genius design. They work so well. The way he went about building them was really cool. He's also gracious enough, and I've begged and pleaded him. He's going to set up like an old school White Dwarf style article of like the buy list, build guide, photos, like everything, the templates for the tables, so that all of our organizers can build them, because they're actually pretty cheap to put together. Because we've taken those to 4 conferences now, I think, and they just work. They're like sturdy, they're quick to play on, they're 2x2s. You can rearrange them and fashion them into a full 4x4 if you need to. But they're great. Everybody loves them. Every time they get brought out, people are trying to buy them.
Nice.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it's a good sign. So
yeah.
But yeah, this photo on the right here was at Adepticon, and we were full steam at that point. It was really, really good. We had a great system down for that.
Yeah, I know when I was trying to find a table to play a game of Trench Crusade on, it was like, oh no, we're full. Sorry, we're booked for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, pretty much. It was.
I mean, that's awesome. That's a really good problem to have. Like, your game is so popular that more people want to play it. Like, that's awesome. As long as you guys can keep growing and keep up with it, like, I don't think you're gonna have any issues.
Yeah, scaling's something that I've kind of had in mind as long as I've been involved, from like how we put the Discord together and a lot of the stuff I did in the background for that. The like digital logistics of how I have kind of our internal system set up for the organizers and stuff. It's all very scale. I work in IT as like my day job, so scaling digital architecture is fairly simple for me. So this is a nice transition into like my hobby where that is making sense. Yeah, here's some more photos from the DEFCON. I didn't actually take this photo. I think Tom might have snapped that one on the left, but yeah, there were 2 yeomen there, and some more tables. That's the big 4x4s. That table is actually really too. Tom built this one as well. It's a 3x3 with detachable sides, so it can stretch out to a 4x4.
I think I could see the line,
the seams there
around there.
Yeah, and then he did some crazy stuff with some really fine cable and got it to turn and spooled it up, I think, with a power drill, so it looks like barbed wire and drape it all over the place. It's in person, it's a great table. I mean, it looks good here, but people were like swarming to it to play on it, and we left that open play all week. So if anyone that wanted to, they could come in and play whenever it was available. But the demos, we were running new seats every hour, so it was went by in a blur with my voice, which I didn't get back for I think a week.
Right. You said how many demo games did you say you ran?
He said north of 500, right?
500?
Just under. If anyone from the team's in chat, I'm sure they'll correct me, but I think it was around like 480 something, 482, 43. It was absurd. Yeah.
That is ridiculous. But no, absolutely cool. And I think one of the I wanted to include that cosplay photo on the left because it's something that for the longest time, like, didn't really see any like Warhammer cosplay or like 40K cosplay, but now it's a bigger thing. Maybe it's because of the rise of or the acceptance of cosplay, or but the fact that Trench Crusade sort of as a game is like a year old.
Yeah.
As a set of playtest rules.
It's in playtest, right? Like there's not even a gold release of the rules yet. They did a great job. Absolutely. I mean, those are awesome NA fits, and like I think Kickstarter had been closed maybe by that point, I think completely. Like to have like, and it's inconsistent too. And I mean, it's awesome too, because like Tomas loves cosplaying. Like it's one of his favorite things. There's an Italian cosplayer, I believe, that is working on like a really incredible artillery witch costume and design, and I know that he's been like helping with source images for them. The partnerships they did with Galactic Armory and Galactic Universe, if you're in the EU, around just like the wearable files and stuff, like loves it. And so it's really cool to see the community like embrace that and kind of like show up with that energy too. Because I mean, it's fun.
Yeah, people having fun.
My only feedback for their cosplay, like as a painter, like you look at the wear that they have on the helmets, and then everything else they're wearing is like right off the rack. Like you can see the fold lines where it was folded up, and I'm like,
yeah. You got to throw it in the mud.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I was like, throw in a bucket with some paint, shake it up, and then let it dry, and then wash it.
Yeah.
So it's nice and flat. Like it would look great. But literally, they're like, we're brand new, except for our helmets and our guns. I was like, oh man, you guys went to all the trouble to make that stuff weird.
Those came from the guy that wore them before them. That's the thing.
Yeah, okay. The one with the rifle runs in front. The one without the rifle follows the one with the rifle.
Pick up any helmets you see.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. It was great. Oh, Blake Schroed has joined us in the chat. Oh, there we go. Sammy says 483.
Nice.
Thank you. Yeah, so 43. Close.
Blake Schroed joined us and said the tables look great. One time I got away from Halo, lots of people were excited to try it, and it was packed. Excellent.
Yeah, Steve H said that you're really excited for Halo.
I was telling Dave in the pre-show the last few nights, Steve and some other people have been up real late playing Halo Infinite online. Like yesterday was my birthday, and I was talking to everybody like, "What do you do for your birthday?" I'm like, "Dude, we've been playing Halo every night. Like, I'm turning 38. I want to feel 13. We're playing Halo tonight."
Well, happy birthday!
Thank you. Yeah, and so that's what we did. And I was like sitting here playing Halo on my computer, and I was like, "This rules, dude!" Like,
the Halo Flashpoint is a blast. That game is great.
Yeah. Obviously, because we're all in miniature stuff, that is immediately where the conversation went. And so then we're, looking at Flashpoint models and talking about just like some of the stuff we wanted to do with it. And like while we're playing the game, we're like, dude, if you could do this, if you could do that. Yeah, it's awesome. When this is over, Steve, we're playing Halo.
Right. Awesome. Josh says Dirty Down nicotine spray for weathering by Goblin's Hut is the cosplay equivalent of Agrax Earthshade.
Nice.
It's true. That's where it comes from.
Yep.
It's a set design product.
Yep. Steve says I'm waiting in the lobby.
I see my buddy Pete on the right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is some of your team from Adepticon?
We love Pete. Yeah. So this is some of the original conference team. It's Jordan on the left. That's Tom with his bomb right there in the middle. He's like the savior of the Chicago team. The dude is amazing. Maple right there in the middle. Also fantastic. Actually, my first game of Trench Crusade, when I think it was like 1.21 or 1.18, the rule set I had first. We were at Mordheim, and I was like, "Yo, I have the rules for this. You want to check it out?" And so we sat down and spun up a table real quick, and I think we got through like turn and a half each, and then we just like stopped and looked at each other, and we're like, "Dude, this is really good. Like, this makes a lot of sense." So we both played Trench Crusade for the first time together at a Mordheim night. It was awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
and the gentleman in the back, he's the organizer for Mordheim. I can't think of his name right now, but he's fantastic. He's an incredible terrain maker. He's the one that supplies if you've ever seen the Mordheim boards of the Adepticon, I'm sure you've seen them online. They're like a blue kind of tile and like just crazy verticality.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's just absolute gem of a human. Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Very cool. Next up. So let's take a spin around the US, and then we'll go for a spin around the globe. The things that you got going on. So Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm. I want to say this is from Adam, and he's been in the program for quite a while. The Observer program, missionary, also whatever. But he's been in the volunteer program for quite a while. Super active, great guy, and he does a lot for just like designing the tables and stuff, and he runs demos pretty consistently.
I like his guild ball measuring tool.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that in the photos. I was like, oh, nice.
Yeah.
Looks like he's got, so those are, he did. He printed out some of the prototype data cards. which we debuted at Adepticon. We've gone through plenty of revisions since, but those have been super helpful. It's just like getting the resource packs and everything together to make sure that, you know, as the team is like running and engaging the community, that you can kind of focus on having a shared experience of like what interacting with the game is for the first time. So we have like preset demo warbands that are sitting at around 450 ducats. And Sam and I worked together to kind of like test, make sure they made sense. And of course, they've been through revisions as we've run many demos and seen where like, okay, well, that's not fun. That interaction kind of sucks. All right, change this a little bit. But one of our team members, and fairly certain was Germany, spent many of their hours to design those data cards and share those out to the community. And they were just like absolute lifesaver from a demo running standpoint, because you're able to just kind of like point and reference as you're like teaching someone. And so like it's a lot of effort and thought put into like what we can set aside to equip, you know, our team members with the stuff that they need to make it fun for everybody. Because having to slow down and get into the crunch is not fun. Like having to turn pages to look for something in the middle of the demo isn't fun. But having a visual kickback for a lot of people is really helpful. So you pull up a data card, you can look at a number or look at a keyword and then see a description of it. It just smooths everything out, and it, you know, leaves you a lot more space to just connect with the people that you're interacting with. And so it's
absolutely,
you know, nice to see those things in the wild and that they're getting use.
I ran a couple of demo games for my Wednesday night gaming group, and
Nice, thank you.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. I've got enough terrain for 2 tables now. I had like, I think at the time it was 5 warbands, so they could pick it. I wrote up some like 700 ducat warbands, and then so I'm there, and like at this point I know what everybody does, and I know how the weapons work and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think about that, as you're saying, that shared experience, that first thing where you need to make it nice and easy for people to look at things. So it was like, okay, let's take the spiral binding off this rule book and separate these pages so that everybody has their own warband rules in front of them. We'll have to share the weapon rules and that kind of thing. But yeah, having some cards, some unit cards would have been, if I had thought about it a little bit earlier, it would have made sense. But
yeah, I mean, the data cards are, like I said, crazy helpful. Those will be available fairly soon.
okay,
TM as a resource, like directly from TC to the community. There's no charges for any of those kind of game aids and stuff. So once we get that all battened down and like they go through final polish and everything, and we give the thumbs up, those will be released publicly for everyone to use. We just have pre-filled out versions that, you know, we would set up for our demo team.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you go to any of our demos, especially with the con team, like we run books. There's, you know, copies of books at every table. All of your dice are laid out. There's quick reference guides. And so like anything that you would need is immediately available to you, so that, you know, you can reinforce that verbal instruction with something visual that someone can interact with.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, very good.
Yeah, this table is great.
Alabama. You gotta love it's that wonderful the background and the aesthetic have that wonderful element where you can mash up a lot of things. So something like the that biplane is not out of place, really.
Yeah. I mean, the Red Baron is like a lore character. He's like a dramatis personae in the universe. So like, yeah, having airplanes, biplanes, and stuff like that, it's very normal. The thing I liked about this, kind of why I included it, the plane is cool for one. Like, it hails to like this is, you know, the scale of the world.
Right.
But it's such a cool pop of color on this table too.
Yeah,
Trench Crusade is usually so kind of like, you know, World War I grime, like dingy and like dark, and then you're like big pop of blue.
Yeah. And so that's kind of a segue into the point. Like, first time I ever played was on a Mordheim table, right? Like, it's more or less what we were playing on. And because Trench is in the name and because of the imagery of the project, like people, I think, really want to gravitate to that kind of board design. And I mean, not for nothing, like, especially if you're in the Warhammer sphere, like you see all of like the images of like Krieg crawling out of trenches and like the books, and like you have all of this mental imagery of like trench warfare and Warhammer. And then nobody really makes tables like that because the game mechanics don't really lean for that and don't accommodate for that kind of terrain use. So I think that Trench Crusade came in at a really nice point for that, where it was just like everyone's like, "Whoa, I could do that thing that I've always wanted to do," and you're doing it on a smaller scale. But verticality is such a fun part of the game's mechanics. I mean, Thomas wrote Mordheim and like diving charges and like falling and knockdowns, all that kind of stuff that's fun, and Mordheim translates so well into TC. So I just, and plus like it's a war front, like not everything happens in no man's land. Like we've all seen Save It Private Ryan and every other World War I and II movie. Like a lot of fighting happens in the villages. So it's just, I wanted to highlight a couple tables that really like kind of push for that and allow for like more interactive terrain.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I think I mentioned on the show before, but I'll say it again, that whenever I thought about trench tables, and I think so many people still think about trench tables this way, is digging down into that to create a trench rather than starting on the trench floor and building up around it. So using obviously all of these trenches on this table that run sort of through all these lines, the trenches are essentially hills, just really close slab-sided hills. And then on this table, we're taking it up even further with this big building on here, this building here, stacking up these ruins here. This adds those extra levels, that verticality you're talking about.
Yeah, and then I mean, like you could just do like the popsicle stick walkways and privilege. I mean, this is truly the easiest way. Like if you want to mimic the like trench warfare idea, like those are squares of XPS foam with corrugated cardboard on the side. Throw some, texture paste and stuff on the top, and do a little weathering, some spray paint, and you can build those in any kind of shapes, and just like Legos, or you configure them however you want. Like you've got full modularity there. And I mean, that's definitely lowest impact to approach if you're wanting to do a table instead of like, carving out 2-inch deep grooves into like stacks of XPS foam and doing all that. Like, cool, it looks cool, but like keep it practical too.
Just,
you know what I mean?
Go to the craft store, buy a bunch of popsicle sticks, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Just duck boards until the end of days. Our buddy from in the Northeast, Spencer, he showed up to Nova and brought a board that was designed similar to this, and like it was, I think a lot of people, it was like probably their favorite board there, and like mechanically it was really easy to execute, but damn, did it look good on table. And it's just a lot of the same theory here. It's just full modularity and just a hint of verticality, get you going.
The great thing as well is that the rules, the movement is sufficient over a 4 or 5 turn game to be able to achieve that, to get from ground level to up to the top of one of those buildings. Sometimes rule systems don't allow for that much movement. So I think that's a key thing to point out. But moving right along, DC. So this is some very early, super excited folks. I've started building. I want to teach you all now.
This is from Chris, I believe, who's in the DC area. He came and supported us at Nova. He was awesome, but I definitely see some familiar faces from Nova here.
This is like the break room at somebody's office. There's like the girl in the back, like still working hard on her laptop, working on spreadsheets, and all these guys are like, playing on the work on the lunch table.
That as I'm looking at this, that could totally be what this is. I'm not actually sure. I didn't get any backstory on this, but it does have that vibe.
Actually, down on the left here, I think this is my buddy Drew Carrington.
That's very possible.
Who does some Crimson Fist Space Marine cosplay.
I could see that with the dice bag. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much to get someone to get to interact with the game.
Yep, absolutely. Indiana.
Yeah, this was from my buddy. He's one of our volunteers in India, Adam Knifehead, and he had been planning to do a Trench Crusade Learn to Play event at a small little gaming cafe down there. I think it's Crown Point, called Schmoley's. It's just a little back room, really cool. But we drove down from Chicago to where he was and brought all of our conference gear and had an awesome time. Like, the community was super cool. The shop owners were super into it. Everyone had a really nice time. And Adam's super passionate, so he's just all about it. And he was asking me about how we go about setting up our weeklies and monthlies at our store Dice Dojo in Chicago. And so Tom and I gave him the rundown. Yeah. Tom gave him the rundown, and I want to say it's, if not this week, next week is his first monthly meetup. And he's been showing us all the terrain. We set him up with a bunch of print media and some terrain stuff that he would need. And so he's pretty stoked. He's got a pretty good following already coming through for it. So I mean, yeah, we hosted one event, had a bunch of people come through, and now he gets to start his monthly, and it's pretty exciting to see. I'm going to try and get down there and hang out.
Excellent.
That was a fun day.
I just noticed the
A7V. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I love that tank. Every time Tom lets me borrow the train, I'm like, you're not going to get it back one day.
Yeah.
It's like, no, give me the file. Leave it alone.
Cool. Excellent. Chicago.
Yeah, this is so the frame on the left is that's me and Tom and Sammy and Cheryl. That's literally my back patio. We got back.
You mean the outdoor gaming lounge?
The outdoor gaming lounge. Yeah, it was one of those super crispy, really nice summer days. Nice. And I was just I texted everyone that Friday, and I was like, yo, everyone just come over. Then Sunday we'll set up tables out back and throw some dice. And so we hung out until I don't know, 6, from 1 to 6 or so, and just played Trench Crusade. Enjoyed the weather on is it Memorial Day? Labor Day? When was that? What's the one that wasn't just recent?
Memorial Day is
Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Right. The other, yeah. Other one, we did the same thing. A bunch of friends came over, and I set up a 2x8 Zone Mortalis strip from a commission I was doing for Dice Dojo, and we played Inquisitor 28. So it's first time a couple people had ever interacted with Inquisitor. Inquisitor and Mordheim were my favorite systems when I was a kid. So I was just yes. And so we did that literally all day, and we went to the Mordheim event that following Wednesday, and we were all sunburned on the back of our heads and necks, just because we'd been inside for 6 months. You know what I mean? It was the first nice day. None of us remembered how the sun works. And then the photo here on the right is Tom again. This was the I want to say this was the first narrative event that I had hosted. And this was, I believe, fall of last year. So this was before the Kickstarter went off. And I had done a protracted custom scenario of 4 games that we ran over the course of a day. And it was fun. We tested NPC element in scenario. We had trench ghosts that would wander around the battlefield, and would, there was dice mechanics for them, and you would roll for basically aggro. We tested tank mechanics in that. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time. We set up a really long table, and the warbands had to get through basically it's almost played kind of like D&D or Inquisitor, and had to get through a stretch of village and to break a line on a trench.
Right.
It's a good time.
Excellent. I do. I always love the idea of playing outside.
Wind.
Then I don't. I rarely like the practicality of playing outside.
Yeah. We had a fun one. I was playing somewhere, and there were right in front of the store there were 3 picnic tables.
Yeah.
And it was a nice early fall day, so it was 76, and it was really calm. There was no wind or anything. and I was like, let's just play outside. So we played like a 4x4 game on like on the table. It was great. Like we had a blast. It wasn't 4x4. We played like a kill team game.
Yeah. Nice. But I mean, like this is kind of like I think a good highlight too. Like, you know, on the right, same guy, but you know, we're playing and like on a dead night and like, you know, our LGS, but at the same time, like we just all showed up. And I mean, granted, we had the resources to throw up tables and stuff, but you can kind of play anywhere if the weather's permitting. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you can always find space to play games with people.
Yes, that's great. Down in Georgia.
I was going to say, if that's Chicago, that could be the actual Pope. But...
yeah. Socks approved. Yeah, I got sent this. Obviously, I had to include it because that's outrageous. But it looks like a pretty cool space. I'm not actually sure what shop this is from. But I did like the table too. It's like a snow setting and stuff. And, you know, the Holy See is present, so it's obviously ordained.
Nice. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, the patches. So they made these patches for their narrative event. And their group down there. I lost my mind when he sent these to me. I was like, dude, I need one of these patches. These are great. And that's it's been
we can get patches made. Dave and I were talking about that the other day.
Yeah, we do it a lot for a lot of the Heresy events and stuff we do in Chicago. It's fun, but it's this kind of stuff too that I got like super excited about. I was like looking through all these photos and I was just like, damn, dude, that's a good EO that you know, like I'm gonna make these cool ass patches for these people in my community because I can do that. I want to do that. And I think that's one of the more rewarding parts of getting to do what I'm doing with the team is that it's just you to see like people get really creative and passionate around the hobby. And I mean, objectively, that's a really cool patch.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, you're right. It is a good thing that so everything we've seen so far is people who have been excited and wanting to do something, wanting to give of their time and their energy to have fun and build a local community that they'll be able to have more fun with in the future, kind of thing. So yeah, it's great that you guys are and the TC team has identified, yes, this is something we want to do and want to support it, and bringing you on board to do that is to help facilitate that, I guess. Facilitate that communication.
I mean, I definitely feel super fortunate for the position that I'm in. I mean, a lot of care and effort, I think, has been put into like setting expectation and care around the type of people we get to work with. Everyone is so talented and like driven and just like the correct kind of energy that you want to interact with on a project like this from like, you know, Factory Fortress and the team that they have, which, you know, is incredible to work with. Just an incredible pedigree of talent, no less. And then like just the team of people that I get to interact with from the volunteer and event support community is rad. Like everyone's always so excited to see each other when we get to conferences and we talk literally all day, every day through Discord. And everybody's so supportive, like, and understanding. And then, you know, especially at cons, like when it's go time, everyone's kicking ass and like ready to jump in and support anybody on the drop of a hat. And, you know, rare that you would ever have to ask someone to do something. They're probably already starting to do it as you're realizing it needs to get done, that kind of stuff. And it's super great.
That is awesome. I think we got a few more photos.
Yeah, these were some pretty good tables. Yeah. What was that?
I said I know we've got a few more photos.
Yeah.
But yeah, this table with the walls was just super cool. I just love the idea of again, doesn't always have to be in a trench or in no man's land. Stuff's going on. Stuff's going on in fortresses.
Sometimes it could be a crusade table. It doesn't have to be a trench table.
That's right. That's the other side of the name. Need more castles.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I'm just trying to like scroll through these photos so I can see who it was that posted them.
Oh, this was
that's from Sin Eater J. Yeah, he's Northwest Arkansas. Yeah,
cool, excellent.
He's been in the project for quite a while too.
Yeah, but no, it looks great. So those guys are having a lot of fun
Mm-hmm.
with that. That's Southeast because you said US, Southeast US. So I'm not sure if is this Florida or is it? You know exactly.
I think this is from one of the newer members. I wasn't actually positive. We just did a restructure
Right.
of the internal resources, so I've been building out a new like volunteer only Discord so that we can kind of have more of an open workspace.
Right.
So I'm having to like reset everyone's roles to their region, and it's a lot of like, we've been talking for months. Remind me where you're at again.
Yep. This is from Sneezy J, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, actually, that's not Southeast. I believe that's in Oshkosh, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my goodness.
I think he's in Wisconsin. So that's
I'm
my
going to
bad.
change it now. I'm gonna change
No.
it.
I know that's how
Southeast,
I
Southeast
said it.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. He jumped in with us right around TMX, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
That would make a lot of sense.
I just liked how excited everybody looked. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's really great. Some cool. And some
Cool
folks
stickers. Awesome.
That's my bad. CA is California, not Canada.
Oh,
but
California.
That's my US centric brain this evening. I'm sorry.
I can make. I'm not going to make them.
No, it's okay. This again, my bad. So this is Hatred Copter is Tom. This dude's great. He's got I think he's probably one of the first, if not the first, live play YouTubes that were coming out. And he literally just set up tables and a recording section in his print shop. And like, I think it was his brother-in-law or his cousin or something. And they just started rolling. He's been in the program, I think, as long as I have.
Okay.
All of our print media, this banner behind me, I mean, anything printed that we use in the US comes out of his shop. He's an absolute champ. Every sticker we've handed out has come off that device there.
Right.
Yeah. But it's, I think it does a good job of highlighting just like when you start organizing a community, really getting to know the people that you're working with and what their interests are, what they do, and learning about the person themselves, and you'll discover things like, granted, we're very fortunate that he's willing to print all this nerd stuff for us. His very professional signage and print shop. But it's just been an awesome resource to just be like, hey, dude, I have an idea. Could you check this out and, help throw a mock up for us? And I'd be like, yeah, I can get it to you and shipped out and yada, yada. And, it's been awesome. No, but he's a champ. He's a super solid dude. I think he's also our head Discord cop. He's one of the wardens.
So not Canada then, California.
No, California.
That's also my bad, probably.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's fine. That was
we're good.
Very US centric for highlighting global communities.
Yeah. So this time I think we are traveling to another country. We're traveling outside of the US.
Germany?
Germany, yeah. So
this was pretty cool.
Which one was this? You sent me to Germany, 2 sets of photos from Germany.
Zeech, I think, had some in there, and I think it starts with Hakalena. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think Marcel, I believe, is the guy's name. Yeah.
Excellent.
I think this was one of his first demo. Yeah, I think this was one of his first demo days that he'd hosted.
Cool. Was he the one who designed the cards, or
no?
I
want to say it was one of our members named Doggy, Daggi. I want to say it was him. This was quite a while ago, and they've gone through a lot of revisions, and a couple people have gone changed things. So I want to say it's Doggy. Yeah, they're great though. I'm really excited for the finalized version to get released. One of our volunteers in the UK has an incredible background with game design, and just his design language in general is very good. And so the aesthetic for the new cards, I think they're going to be vertical too, which is nice. So they're very data rich, without being like cluttered.
Yeah.
But yeah, they look really nice. I'm excited for those to come out.
Excellent. This was the second German sort of photo.
Yeah, I believe that's from Zeech. Yeah.
Right. I thought the obviously early in the morning got set up before folks are coming in. Everyone's just taking a wander around the.
It looks like the walls are padded. Like I don't know if that's for noise reduction or because this is where they're like, well, these guys are a little off. Let's keep them in the padded room.
TC apparently gets played in some pretty weird places. Tomas somehow got himself in contact with a Trappist monk for a project that is involved with TC, and they apparently were playing at the monastery. This was all happening through email, obviously, because Trappist monks can't speak. But yeah, when Tomas had reached out about a translation for medieval era Latin, the guy was like, "Yeah, no, we're familiar. We've interacted and played with the game." I was like, what?
"You're like that? I was not expecting that interaction."
Yeah, I'm like, I guess it kind of makes sense. Like, you know, it's probably like, you know, superheroes for them or something.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna suggest maybe they're just fabric covered walls for noise reduction.
Probably. It looks like a library space or a gymnasium of some kind. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah.
But and this is so that's that table there. The front of is this. So,
nice.
Yep. Great demo set up there.
Yeah, that's a really fun table with the like outside the church.
That's a super cool church too. That's a great model.
Yeah, I was kind of stuck on that too. I was like, I don't know who did this sculpt, but it's really solid. Everything just kind of sits really well. I did a similar thing at Nemo with the demo table that I was running.
It's probably not, but it almost looks like a Pegasus Hobbies kit. Like I don't think Pegasus still exists, but that looks like a Pegasus hobby kit. I don't know.
It's this window.
Yeah,
what makes me think this round window is what makes me think Pegasus Hobbies.
I mean, it's in Germany and they have a great pedigree when it comes to hobby, so it's totally possible that's where it could come from.
Oh, sorry.
This is
sorry. I'll just go back to it for a sec. Matt Ball says, "Yeah, that is the Pegasus Hobbies."
Awesome. Good eye.
Rob Sakaluk says, "Yeah, love the ruined cathedral." So, yeah, cool, excellent. That's good. I wasn't 100% sure because some of this felt like it might have been carved from foam.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's always good to now we'll have to go and look online for a Pegasus Hobbies.
Yep, search begins.
Cathedral. Excellent.
It's like when there was that big push for Playmobil Roman Colosseums when
Gladiator.
Yeah, when the Gladiator game came out, the I don't know why I can't think of the name, but like that kit. So apparently that kit was out of print, and Playmobil started making it again because people were like, they were kept calling them and asking them like, "Hey, are you making this kit anymore?" They're like, "We don't make that one anymore."
People were buying it for like $300, $400 on eBay.
And I'm sure they were like, "What's going on?" Like,
yeah. I mean, take notes from Lucas. Like they got to get into that merchandising.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is from Tomas. He shared this with us. This I think was. Let's see, he did tell me what was going on here. Diceverse and Juho did the table files, and then
oh, okay.
Yeah, Alexander from 28, the tanks that were hosted here, I think were his project.
Cool, excellent.
Which looked great. If you included that photo, those tanks are amazing. Yeah,
they're on the next one.
Yeah, this table is so good though. Like the hilltop ascent with the duckboard approach, the craters, the color on it is really nice. It's a lot darker than I think I see on most, and it has a really good like kind of display, and like the theme carries well through like the buildings and all the debris and stuff.
Oh, somebody noticed your Flames of Orion shirt.
Yep.
Gotta support the homies. It's a great game. You should check it out.
Yep. Tell things are getting dark there in Chicago, Chris.
Yeah. I'm like fighting for light. Let me see. I'll open up a Just a
But
blank
it's a-
white.
But
Oh, Rob's saying that the church is a 3D print.
just found it. Rebuilt Church by Black Scroll Games, City of Tarok Range.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, so when you mentioned this one, Zach, you said Diceverse, I think. Is this the one
Yeah.
where they spent a whole bunch of time like building a really beautiful table, and then they digitally scanned it, and then they did a like a crowdfunder for the files?
That is super possible. I was not given that context.
I think it might be, but
Yeah. I mean, it is.
I think maybe they might have made this as a bespoke piece for Thomas.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I know the little bunkers with the steeples. Those are Diceverse for sure, because I also have those files. The rest of it, I'm not positive.
Yeah, but it does look great. And again, it's different from, because it's a set piece.
Mhm.
It's from that modular sort of feel, and you can start to stack things a lot better on that. So everything looks a lot more lived in, I guess.
Yeah.
Use that
More immersive.
immersive. Yeah. But it does just look fantastic.
Mm.
And
Yeah, there's Alex's tanks.
Nice.
They're so good.
yeah. The I think the one at the back there
Yeah.
is the Saint Chamond.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
French
the French tank. Yep.
And I think that's when I finally do a tank for Trench Crusade. I think it's going to be that one.
Yeah.
Just because it's so goofy.
Yeah. Was it 1914 or All Quiet on the Western Front that had the really gnarly scene with the Chamon?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen. I don't think I've actually watched either of them. So.
They're not cheery.
Yeah, they're not fun.
I'm not sure if
they're
it's
beautifully done.
to watch either of them.
But I was kind of like short on inspiration for something, and I tossed. I think it was All Quiet on the No, it was 1914. All Quiet on the Western Front follows the two guys, but I threw it on, and I was just like, ugh. And it was like right after the Dragon Hunt scenario came out, and they played that scene, and it's just like belching fire across no man's land in the trenches, and all the guys are running, and I was just like, well, I've got to get one of these for that scenario now. Like, it's settled in my mind. But yeah, I love like the like altar of candles along the side, and just the weathering he pulled together on these is incredible.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Very thematic storytelling on these.
I think the thing I love about that tank in particular was that as they developed it, it had really like comparatively short sort of wheelbase.
Mm-hmm. It was real narrow. Yeah,
it's only like 50% of that total length of the tank, because they thought that would be more maneuverable, and everything would work a little bit easier. And at the front, it's got like a little prow, like a boat prow. So the idea of being when you go into over the trench,
it dips down and then picks itself up.
It would do that, but some of the wider trenches or the less stable trenches would kind of collapse, so to end up sort of sitting across the trench on top of it.
Turn it into a bridge.
So yeah, absolutely, it'd be a bridge. So
yeah, that's a cool idea for a piece of terrain. Have one of those bombed out, just like cut halfway through a trench, use it as a walkway.
That could be good. Yep.
That'd be pretty sick. Yeah.
Yep. And Rob said he also made the tank from Bestiar miniatures. So huge.
Oh, I didn't know they made tanks. That's cool.
It's yeah, looking great. Nice.
Are there rules for tanks?
No. A lot of people have sat down like collaboratively and then also independently to like kind of homebrew rules. I've done a couple different renditions of them to like make it kind of work.
Nice.
I mean, the framework that you have, and like if you do like a fully heavy mechanized infantry, that kind of gives you a pretty good foundation for something like a light tank.
Sure.
You would just be adjusting, I guess, your movement characteristics, but as far as like its defensive state, you're basically fighting a tank in the lore, and like how they feel on the table is very tank-like. So there's not a ton of adjustment that needs to be done. I know that it's been talked about a bunch. I don't know if when anything officially would happen.
It's
like I
super
said, the
hard to
Dragon
run
Hunt
tanks.
scenario.
It's
Yeah,
super
the
hard to
Dragon
run
Hunt
tanks in a
scenario.
skirmish game because you're like, oh, cool, like I kill half your army with like one shot, and you're like, well, that's a bummer. Like, so in a scenario, I think it's cool. You know, when we were working on the Mutant Chronicles game, when we were working on that, we, you know, I'm a huge fan of giant tanks and stuff. So I was like, oh, we should run like some of the crazy tanks that are in the game. And they're like, yeah, the problem is if we did that, it would like literally kill your whole army in like one turn. So then we were talking about like doing those scenarios, which obviously you guys have done. I think that's the coolest way to like have them in there. Like, part of my brain wants to take all of my like old dust German walkers and like gross them all up and like stick them in here. And I'm like, I can't really do it. Like, they'll look cool, but like I can't really do that.
I mean, yeah, the dragon scenario is great for that kind of stuff. The narrative event that I had hosted, it was a tank escort. So like the Church Aligned forces were trying to escort this tank through like a bombed out village and then use it to breach a line into the Heretic Legion trench.
Nice.
Trench encampment, because it was the first stage of their assault on the Rock of Gibraltar. So it was like a forward operating base of the Heretic Legion was kind of like the narrative. And so like we had, I think, 3 or 4 bands on the Heretic Legion side, you know, and like the team was like collaborating. They're like, all right, you guys are going to be trench line. We'll go up into the bunkers and the embankments, and I'll set up heavies over here so that they can prepare and kind of coordinate. And the trench pilgrims and everything were doing the same thing in New Antioch. And it was fun. I was really deep into heresy, so I adopted some of like the facing rules and stuff for it. And I made it, because I mean it's the first rendition of a tank, so I didn't want it to be like driving an Abram into like World War One.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
there was like different ways to like shell shock gunners on one side or another, and relying on like the bloodbath mechanic to like down components or like blow out tracks and do different stuff, so that it gave the tank kind of interacting as like an offensive piece of terrain and not as just like a powerhouse on the board, because they ended up using it for cover to eat shots and then whole thing. But it was a lot of fun. We got a lot of good test data from it and feedback, and done some adjustments since. But I mean,
that's awesome.
That's the nice thing about the system. It's
the
really
whole time we were
elegant.
talking, my brain's been like, what conversions could I do? And I'm like, part of me wants to get like the Cities of Sigmar dudes.
Yeah.
And then get like a bunch of Sisters of Battle and like kit bash them and make a bunch of like yeomen with like helmets on and like like there's so much cool stuff you could do. We had a bunch of new people jump on while we were talking. Draugr was on here. I saw him do he did some art. He did some art with Tomas at the show. I saw him doing that. That was really cool. And I actually grabbed one of his shirts for my business partner Ben was like a huge fan and was like, oh dude, get it for me. So I grabbed one of his shirts, and then our buddy Alan just jumped on. He's another artist. Nice. Yeah, I think the coolest thing about the game is just all like the whole like here's the keys, like do whatever you want kind of vibe. So
I mean that's a top down kind of ethos for it too. Like the emphasis has always been like, from a company standpoint, it's creating a line that's available to you if you want it. Because a lot of people do, they rely on that in lore IP kind of approach, and keeping it available through digital release. But I think there's always been a strong focus on kit bash and create your own. I mean, especially from Tomas, anyone that's spent I think 5 minutes talking to him, which he would love to do. He's quick to express his intent that he wants to see people be creative with the setting and use the lore as a framework to tell their own story. And I think that the setting is just pushy enough that like you get to be a little divisive with like where you can take it, but it also allows you to like really integrate. I mean, for a lot of people, like, you know, what their core beliefs are and stuff, which is a lot of fun. I mean, I've probably painted like upwards, probably 8 and 10 like full 1200 point war bands at this point of official models with a commission or project or whatever. None of my personal war bands are official. It's all kit bash stuff because that's, I mean, when I first started playing, we didn't have official models, so it was like you had to do your own thing. And I've been playing more time again for a couple of years, and then like make your own stuff. It's fun. Like,
absolutely.
I do want to try some Inquisitor 28. I don't think there's not a huge scene on here. I loved Inquisitor back in the day. I mean, Dave and I were at GW when that came out, and I remember these models are sick. Like we had to deal with the nightmare that was Forge World, but because we got to buy stuff, you know, buying metal by weight was pretty great. So
yeah, I bet. You guys were talking earlier about like, I painted this way back when. I want to paint this now that I've you know, learned all this. And so when I was like getting back into the hobby, shortly after I'd gone down to see my mom, and like I was like, "Do you have any of my like stuff still?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, it's, you know, here." And I had this little gray blue tackle boss I used to use for fishing with my grandfather, and I had stuck all the minis that I didn't want to get rid of in there. Like, I don't know, when I was like 14 or 15. And I was like, I know I still have it. I found it, and it's full of Inquisitor, Mordheim, and like all these weird little kit bashes and stuff, like all metal minis. And
Dude,
so I have all my original like Inquisitor models still. And I guess at some point I had bought someone else's Captain, the Space Marine, the Death Watch
Artemis.
Yeah, the other Captain Artemis.
Watch Captain Artemis.
Captain Artemis. Yeah. So I have two. So I have the original one that I painted, and I have this other one that's like painted like a salamander. So I'm gonna strip it and like refit them and
dude,
paint
that kit still sells for like money online. Like that kit is crazy.
Yeah, I think I'm only missing like 2 models from the line, which was like Quasimodius or whatever, the twist guy. Yes,
I had that one.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. I built mine so he had the rifle in his hand.
Yes, and I don't have the Rogue Trader. That's the other guy.
Was great. What's his name? I had the guy with the Psy Cannon.
Covenant.
Yeah, Covenant was cool. With his like
big broadsword.
Yeah. Dude, he was literally a Jess Goodwin drawing brought to life. Like literally.
By Jess. Yeah, Jess sculpted that.
Oh man, yeah, the models in that range were just so good, like Sergeant Stone and all that. When they did the kill team with the Inquisitor, and they had Sergeant Stone in there, I was like, yes, so excited.
Again, the weirdest thing with that game was, and you can still see it because when GW first started making terrain kits, everybody was like, "Why are the windows so high? Why are the doors so big?" I'm like, "It's because they made it for Inquisitor. Like that was the scale they made it for."
Yeah.
But by the time the terrain came out, they realized that the game wasn't really going to work for them. So they basically pulled support for it, but still put out the kits. And I was like, they're for Inquisitor. The biggest thing that hurt Inquisitor was that they were like, let's make it a weird scale. Like, it's like, why would you do that? Everybody's terrain is 28 mil. Like,
John likes big stuff. He wanted to do big scale.
I mean, I get it. It's just,
Anyway.
But Ink 28's great, dude. Like, the way I was talking with someone that was like, I really want to try this out, but no one in my community, like they have like a really like mainstream build community that's like play competitive 40K in AOI, so that's all we do. And I was like, you have people that like kit bash them, and they're like, because they kit bash a bunch, and they're like, yeah, I'm like, cool, like grab a bunch of your bits and have them bring all their bits, host a hobby day at your game store, have everyone be like, yo, this is what we're gonna do, like we're gonna kit bash a bunch of like just random dudes that live in 40K and all this stuff. I was like, do that 2 or 3 times and like do like a hobby painting contest in your Discord, just something that gets them working on the project without realizing why they're doing it.
Yeah.
And then
or just buy a bunch of the kill teams. Buy a bunch of the kill teams to play in 28.
I'm like, dude, you had the stuff, but I'm like, if you really want to get like people bought in, like have them create these things where they're telling this story and you stretch it out over a little bit of time. And once they got 3 guys, go, hey, guess what? We're gonna play in 28 today. I'm gonna teach you how to play this game. It's really easy. And then you just do it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, especially wrapping anything around creativity for people that like the hobby aspect, it's, you know, easy peasy.
I was looking at a bunch of the kill teams the other day, and I was like, you can almost get all of the original Inquisitor models in 28 scale now. Like you were saying, if you buy the
I
Inquisitor
bought
Warband,
2 of those packs so that I could build all of the options.
it's
'cause I was
nuts. Like they're all in there. Like they made Artemis. They made Watch Captain
Mhm.
Artemis, but now you can make
Yeah,
it with the new Death Company kit, so he's
Yep.
the right size. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
or sorry, Death
Great.
Watch. Like, but
Yeah.
still, like, I think the only guys that might be hard to get are some of the weirder like mutant dudes, but you could easily make them out of guardsmen.
Oh yeah, dude. You could do that with like some of the blooded and plague bearer.
Yeah.
That'd be a quick one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had so much fun kit bashing Inquisitor stuff for how little I play.
Who was the big?
It's just
who was
such
the big witch hunter guy? Was it Tyrus?
Typhus.
Yeah. Tyrus.
Or Tyrus.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was Tyrus. Yeah.
Like I was like, you just buy the Inquisitor
He's
Warband.
just like-
It comes with the big dude in the gold armor. I was like, you can just run him.
the Stormbolter on his hand. He's just like,
So good.
From the cover. Here's the cover.
Yeah.
of the rule book.
Yeah.
I have the book. It's just sitting over there. It's some of the best art they've ever published too, I think, in that book.
That's one of the few.
Absolutely
That's one of the
stunning
few rule
stuff.
books I don't think I still own. I think I either sold that or gave it to somebody years and years and years ago.
I got my copy used for $50 on eBay, I think, and I was so excited when I got it. And I opened it up and was like, it was in great condition. And then peeling through it and I could feel there was something in there. I was like, oh, there's probably a character sheet or something in here. And I opened it up and there's just like a child's drawing of like their character with like a bunch of numbers next to it. From when whoever owned this before me was like probably like 13, same age as I was, and it like stopped me in my tracks where I was just
That's
like holding
awesome.
this, and I'm like, that's crazy, like that weird like synchronous experience like over a 20-year span with a complete stranger, and I was like, dude, it feels like my book. That's crazy.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
These were at Nova.
Yeah, we'll finish off with some Nova photos.
Yeah. I want to say Peter took the photo of this lieutenant here.
Yep.
Another great cosplay. We saw a couple actually at Nova, different stuff, which was really cool.
Yep.
But you can see in the Go ahead.
Much better with the wear. There's wear on the trench coat. Much better.
got some dust. That's dude's seen some time.
Dust on the knees from
Better boot selection.
Yeah.
Over here critiquing. But you can see in the background too, there's some of the props and stuff from Galactic Armory. Actually, the rifle that they're holding is an actual Enfield that Galactic Armory purchased, removed the function of, and then did some weathering to make a Saints rifle. And like that, the scope, because it's for a sniper priest. The scope is an actual wolf bone that they like did scribing on and like laid gold leaf into. So it's just like a reliquary of a saint's bone with gold leaf all the way through it. It's gorgeous.
That's awesome.
But yeah, they did like the wood box and like it's so good. Those guys are super talented and have done some really cool stuff. And I want to say they still have the files online for most of the stuff. So obviously not the Enfield, but like the helmet in the background and I think the knife. The Heretic Legion knife.
There's a grenade here as well.
Yeah, the holy hand grenade.
The holy hand grenades are pretty great.
Yep.
Yeah, those
Heretic,
were our immediate favorite. Yeah.
Heretic trooper helmet as well.
Yeah, I know the trooper helmet, the mask, and the knife you can find online through Galactic Armory's website.
Yeah.
And then on the right,
Yep.
that's the man Mike Francina himself, who fell in love with giving demos at Nova. He played his first game with Maple at Adepticon.
Okay.
And low-key beat her ass. It's actually pretty funny. And we had 2 demo tables set up at the booths at Nova, and his brother had come in to hang out. And so him and his brother were hanging out at the booth down closer into like the artists area. And I guess they just kind of started running demos, and Mike really took a shine to it. I think he has the same kind of ethos to gaming that I do, where it's just like, yeah, dude, do that cool thing. Like, let's see how that works. And so I think he just had a lot of fun getting to interact with people around the system, and like when we're putting an emphasis on pushing the limits of what you can do to like tell a cool story. Like he regaled us of the stigmatic nun that ran up the side of the cross in the middle, and then like survived a bunch of shots from a dude, and then did a diving charge into the trench build room leader and like downed them in one go because they were like almost a bloodbath. And he was like seeing him talk about it, and he was all excited. And he was like, "You just saw the dude's face light up," and I'm just like, "Yep, that's the thing.
You did
That's
it.
the good stuff."
Yeah. When I was talking to Mike at the booth there, I was like, "Oh, how are things going?" He goes, like normally at this kind of thing, like it's kind of tough. And a lot of us we're all reasonably socially awkward at certain times.
Yeah, he's a very reserved person.
Yeah, when it was like, "Oh yeah, this is Mike. He created the world and did all the art. Oh, I've got to talk to people about art now in an awkward kind of way." But for this, it was like, "Oh yeah, do you want to run a demo game?" And he'd run it. Like, "Oh, you want to play a demo game?" He was running so many games, and he was like, "I really like it because there's a purpose to my conversation," kind of thing. It makes it fun playing this game.
Yeah, it's nice. You kind of set a little objective throughout the conversation, keep you on track. It was really cool. I was like stoked to hear that he had such a good time getting to interact with everything that way.
Yeah, but that was very cool. This is a setup for the narrative event, I think.
Yep. There's our hero Phil in the middle there.
Yep.
Over here.
Yep.
Yeah, right
there. There's Phil. Let's see, we got Norman there. There's Tuna to the right by the his hand up. That was he was our world's first best sportsman.
Nice.
He's since joined the volunteer program. He runs a event down in South Carolina.
Cool.
He actually just texted me recently. What's the name of it? I can't remember. But you can get a hold of him on Discord at Cybertuna if you're in the South Carolina region.
We mentioned
that dude is
Pete Heston.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Pete did both of these tables here.
Yep. Those are Pete's tables. I want to say that's George there across from Tuna, who's from the DC area, and he's since joined, and he's actually starting his narrative event, I think, pretty directly here. He's been going over some of the documents with us. It's pretty cool. But Tuna's just awesome. He won Best Sportsman in the Mordheim event, and then he came and collected on the other Pyramid game at Trench Crusade, and super well deserved. It's just an absolute gem. He printed out these super sick log books that are just like very in theme, like anything that you would want to like record or look at from like a narrative perspective, or just like from like game data. And he had handed a bunch of those out, and they were just super cool. He's posted those to the Trench Crusade Discord, the main one. I think he just did a revision and reposted it too. But he's a super nice guy. He's veteran in the wargaming community for a bunch of years down in South Carolina.
Excellent. That is very cool. What do I got next? Oh, yep.
Shameless plug for the boys. I spent many a night getting these prepped before Nova very quickly. So they were gracious enough to help support some of the printing on this. But this is the Eons of Battle Catacombs, the Dead or Damned, one of the Ds.
Yep.
We had a really nice board that they put together that was on display at the core booth. And then I printed out a bunch, and they sent me a bunch here, and we got to use this. We got great feedback on this table, actually, because it really changes the dynamics of like playing Trench Crusade, where there's like you're really looking for like lines of sight and utilizing terrain a lot differently. It was a ton of fun to paint. It's designed really well. I'm actually pretty stoked to have it. It'll be fun to use at our local events.
Yep, the Game Found just finished yesterday, I think.
Did they wrapped it?
It's either yesterday or this morning. I know that at some point the $110 for the terrain and the minis came out of my account. But
that's usually how I remember I backed something, or I'm like, what?
Okay. I knew I'd done this. One thing I was going to mention before, when we were talking about tanks and can you have tanks in the game and that sort of thing, is that I'm confident with Trench Crusade that because the lore that's being developed and the way that everything's being put together, it's going to, and the stories that are being told within that lore, there's going to be the possibility, the potential for creating other game approaches in the same world. Mm-hmm. So having larger battle games, not taking the Trench Crusade rules as they exist now, but creating a new system that works for a larger combat sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Because if we've got the files to print out a whole bunch of Wretched and Hell Knights, or there are releases in the future for a whole bunch of Yeomen and Shock Troopers for New Antioch, why wouldn't you want to collect? Like, yeah, so not everybody wants to paint 20, 30, 40 models.
Right.
100 models.
I mean, that's its own demand, but
some people do.
Some of us do, yeah.
This guy. So I think that's where your different settings start to come in. But John Schaefer, who we've had on the show a number of times before, he's working on a dungeon crawl kind of approach in the Trench Crusade setting, and it's probably going to be working with the Eons of Battle guys with this terrain.
Nice.
This part of it.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
So he had he came down to Nova and he had a chat with Thomas and with James Alexander as well.
Yes, I did meet him. I do know who you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I did get to talk about that a little bit with him. I know he spoke with Sammy, who was our event runner and designer for that scenario. Yeah, because there's some exciting stuff coming for the events at Adepticon. So it was good to pick his brain about some of the stuff he's working on. I've done some like really light Heartbreak rules around DCC with the Trench Crusade universe. And it's just a fun thing to interact with, because if you look at like what happened to Morkborg of all, like just like a virus, it spread through like, you know, the RPG consciousness as far as like what you can do with those mechanics, because it's super light and it kind of like sits in that really dark, grim, dark, funky dystopia. And they've done such great products too. Just their whole release line at a Cartelian is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think there's just so much that can be done with it, and we'll see that happen over time.
Yeah, I'm hopeful that we'll get to roll the clock back and get like a early to mid Crusades era version of the game. That's what I want. I want knights and demons. Because it's just, I don't know, it sounds like so much fun, and like, I don't know, like Arbalest.
So obviously that would be Trench Heresy. We're going to run that.
Yeah.
That'd be
damn
before.
It. I'd never even made the connection. I just want the other version of it from like 1,000 years ago. Yeah. Completely heresy brained. That's awful.
Awesome. But Phil, do you have any photos from your World Championship?
I love that he did this.
I just have selfies with all the guys that I played. So, this is everybody that Phil played over the.
I believe I walked up when he was playing the kid in the bottom right.
Okay. Yep.
I was there for the end of that game.
This one. Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I think he played his last game against Chris Tuna. I think he left. I think it's him. Somebody left a Heretic Legionnaire Corporal V something was written on the base.
Okay.
And is now living in the travel case for Trench Crusade. So it's become part of the moving entity that is DC at cons. But I couldn't find that guy to save my life, dude. I ran all over the con looking for him. I was like, well, you're gonna live on this top shelf.
Yeah, I think you and I think I met you for the first time at Adepticon, and then you and I chatted a little bit. I think that day when I came down to see Phil, we were talking about like retail stuff, like, you know, what we're gonna do for retail stuff. So I'm excited for all that too. For all you at home who are still like, what's going on? Nobody plays it at my store. Like, they've got plans. So
soon. Yes. This is the crew from Nova. All of these people are fantastic.
Nice.
That's Sammy on the left there. Yeah, that's our event organizer. She did the narrative writing, the scenario and game design for the narrative event. Did an absolutely incredible job. I'm very, very proud of her. And then that's Spencer up front. He's a newer guy that joined us from New England. He clicked immediately with the group. He's super nice. He works in education, and he runs a Trench Crusade school club.
Right.
Literally in his high school.
Yep.
Just a super cool guy. And it's Jordan. He's my neighbor, more or less. But, in the back, he's worked with us previously at Adepticon. He works in the game retail space.
The guy next to you with his armor on, he looks like the guy, looks a little bit like the guy from Mythbusters.
Oh, here.
Yeah, a little bit. No, to the right.
That's
right.
Oh, here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, this is Alexander.
Yeah, that's Alexander Wiggenberg. He's part of our operations team for EU, and then does a lot of stuff, obviously, with the book publication. Given his history with 28, he's a gem. And some of the driest humor I've ever experienced. I love it.
Absolutely. I worked with Alexander on 28 Collected book.
Yeah.
And the first time we did a video call, it was like,
how did that go?
Well, it was fantastic because it went really well because he was grinning. He had this really bizarre grin on his face, and I said, "Is everything okay? You look a little bit like looks a little bit odd." And he goes, "Oh no, it's just we don't normally smile. So I've been told that when I'm talking to people from America that I should smile more." And I said, "You can stop it."
Wow,
it's a little bit creepy. So you can stop that.
Yeah, Alex is amazing. He's got such a weird sense of humor.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah, but that's Stan next to him, not Adam Savage. He's one of our Midwest reps.
He's Stan Savage. That's Stan Savage.
Stan Savage, Savage Stan. Yeah, he's fantastic too. He's traveled all over from his distant Midwest state to support us, and he's super active in his community. He's a big guy for Infinity and stuff too, but great understanding of the game. He's awesome with demos. And then that's Tomas right there in the middle.
Yeah.
And then I'm hiding in the back next to Peter, who's our primary Boston presence. He's also just amazing, super hard worker, really passionate. He made the fatal mistake that I did at Adepticon and overused his voice, so he was getting a little craggly there by Saturday. I put him in timeout. I was like, "You're going to go help at the booth, and you're not going to give any demos today, and you're not going to talk to people more than you need to, because you are so tired and your voice is gone, dude." But
mine was pretty hammered by, I want to say, halfway through Saturday.
Yeah, I started.
It's the rooms. It's when you're in the rooms. It's so loud. I was like, man, I had to be so loud to try to figure out what was going on in our game, and I was like, man, okay.
Yeah. And then that's Mike standing next to his brother Matt, who's actually been doing some cool stuff with us in the volunteer program in his area in Pennsylvania. And then you have James and Jamie in the back. James Sheriff, so our lead sculptor and like team manager now. I don't know how much sculpting he does anymore. He always jokes that he doesn't, but I don't believe him. And then that's Jamie, our CEO. So he gets to do all the boring business stuff that no one else wants to do because this company is literally creative.
Gotta have it. Yeah, we talk about this all the time. Working in this industry
that are just like constantly pushing.
I've had so many conversations with friends of mine in the industry, and I'm always like, listen, there's a bunch of great creative types in our industry. Yep. If you don't have a good business guy, your business is doomed, because the creative guys are like, I have all these awesome ideas. And you're like, I'm sure that you do. We have to have somebody who makes sure that the ones and zeros line up on the back end. Like, you need that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jamie's great. He's a good time. Yeah, dude. I mean, just genuinely, I feel super lucky to work with all these people because
he's the medic in the
really
squad.
Awesome. Super. Dude. He is our medic. Everybody's super talented, super driven, and I think it's very present when you get to work and interact with all these people that, like, it's always best foot forward, and they're working from community focus first, which is really good. Yeah. I mean, Thomas's legacy, I think, in wargaming, he gets to look at, from my perspective, he gets to look at the fact that Mordheim has lived the way it has and continues survive and continues to have the support it does. And I think for him, finding a way to get back to that is really his focus. So he really does, I think, everything he can to like make sure that the community is taken care of and empowered. Like when at Adepticon, when we did the data cards and stuff, we were at dinner and I was just like, dude, like everybody is losing their minds about these data cards. What should we do with them? He's like, give them away. He's like, we'll put them on the website. They can all have them for free. He's like, I don't want to charge for anything. It's like, great. That's awesome. I love that.
Your business guy swoops in and goes, well, listen, as a business.
Yeah, Jamie's like, hey, listen, actually. But I mean, that's just how he is. Like he just, he wants to remove as many barriers as he can to get people to play. And I think that
you just got to remember, you just got to remind him where on the Star Trek timeline we are, though. Like,
yeah.
We're not in the post-scarcity utopia.
We're not quite at the Enterprise yet.
We're right before the eugenics wars. So, like,
oh.
Anyway,
no, but I mean, yeah, that ethos I think carries over. It's definitely I think important from like an EO standpoint, like an event organizing standpoint.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to build a community, like you've got to do what you can to remove those barriers of entry. It's like when I was talking about like hosting a series of hobby days and get people to kit bash. It's like, cool, now you don't have an excuse, dude. You spent the time, you built the story, like let's go do something with it. I wanted to start playing Battlefleet Gothic again, so I bought a printer and then printed off like 15 fleets for my people in my community that wanted to do that, and they were like, "Yes." I was like, "Dude, I don't want anything. Like, if you're going to play this game with me, then I'm good." Like,
dude, I love BFG.
Dude,
my spider sense is tingling. I feel like in the next year or two, it's going to come back. So
I don't just leave it alone, dude.
No, I want all new plastics. I don't want any metal ships. I want all new plastics.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
I honestly, I don't know, man. I feel like I would be curious to see what the team would do with a naval game at that capacity. It's just Battlefleet is so just like mechanically clean.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I would take new models, but I'd probably still be playing 2016.
If you played any of the Armada games, you know how to play it. Like it's the same system.
Yeah, it's the exact same system.
We played it in the Heresy event I did a couple months ago. They made it so that they had a Heresy Battlefleet, and then they had Horus Heresy going on, and everybody had to play at least one game of Heresy Battlefleet. I mean, you didn't have to, but they were like, "There's one round where we were going to need people to play it." So every round they would pick a couple people that volunteered, and I mean, it's a ton of fun. Like I was like, I used to love this game. So,
yeah,
I'll make this really short but it does tie into the event thing. So I work with the Heresy organizers in Chicago around Dice Dojo, and on a car ride last year, we were like, dude, we should redo Siege of Terra, but incorporating all of the game systems that Heresy's present in, which is BFG, Legion Imperialis, Zone Mortalis, and then Standard Heresy, and then Adeptus Titanicus. And so we talked to all the people at EO for those games, and we're like, hey, this is what we want to do. Do you guys want to do this? And we literally launched it with the Battle for the Gate at Pluto, and I wrote a 6 game scenario narrative, and everyone played. We started the entire sequence with Battlefleet Heresy, and it was like the traders breaking through the lines to Pluto and dropping the gate, and then like it goes to off to Saturn, and then it was like APOC game, and then there was Zone Mortalis games, and then there's Legions Imperialis Siege, at all utilizing whatever point of the story is to that scale. And you have players interacting with all the systems. We're doing like patches and all kinds of stuff, and that's going to stretch the whole year. But it's literally because we were just like, all right, we want people to play these games, so let's just give everyone an excuse to play them and like retell their own story.
Dude, that's awesome.
The Siege of Terra, it's been super fun to see a lot of the stuff that people are doing.
Nice.
We'll have to talk offline because I see Dave's getting itchy. But like I could talk Heresy.
I'm sorry, man.
Well spotted. No,
there he is, world narrative champion himself, Phil.
Glacial Geek. I just had to include this photo in there for that express purpose. But
dude, I was so stoked that he got to place the way he did. He was such a joy to have him.
Dude, he was stoked.
Yeah,
excellent.
It was really great. Everyone that won in that event, when we started tallying out the points and everything, so we didn't do like the way. I'll explain it real quick. It was there was a hobby, there was best sportsman, and then total VP, which isn't wins. It's just being effective in the play conditions.
Yep.
Those were like the 3 performance based And then for lore, we did most units lost, which is full death, most units killed, which is full death, and then most ducats collected. And they all had like thematic names. And like everyone that got placed in each position, it was like as we were tallying, we were like, yeah, that makes sense. And like the 2 games like that, I think it was like 4 and 5, we were looking at it, and I'm like, damn, Phil's doing pretty good. Like, we're looking at it, and it's like getting kind of neck and neck. But he was like literally like I'd say like a 5 to 10% in any direction to almost any of them, and so it was really interesting. But
we were chatting about his list on the last day because again, I still haven't played. Like I wanted to get a game in when I was there, and I didn't have any time. And then Dave and I were going to play a game, and that didn't happen. And then Phil and I were going to play a game, and I was just like, okay, whatever. So the last day when I chatted with you, I talked with Phil ahead of time, and we were kind of going over a little bit. And he's like, oh, I'm doing really well, and we were kind of chatting, and I was like, well, so what's going on? And he was like, I picked a bunch of stuff because I thought it was cool. I didn't really understand how the rules worked, and apparently. He's like, by accident, I picked a list that's really effective together. And I was like, good for you, man. Like that werewolf looks insane. And like, I guess his list worked pretty well. Like the kid he was playing at the end when I saw him, he said the werewolf like jumped across the board and jumped on the bridge and landed on a bunch of his dudes and killed one and then jumped on another one. I was like, okay, well, that's always good.
Yeah.
In the game that Phil and I played, his werewolf
I was going to ask about that.
Bridge, and that chainsaw head just went straight through my heavy mechanized infantry with machine gun. It just split him in half.
Yeah, it hurts.
Like, boom. First roll, killed.
Yeah.
They're
really nasty. They have, I mean, you can counter them pretty easy. You must have just had bad placement to get pounced on like that. What happened? How did your HMI get pounced on?
He did the puppet master thing and
that'll
the wall forward, and then he rolled well with his charge. So yeah, I just got screwed.
It is a dice game.
Yeah, they're never kind of me. There's a running joke in our gaming group that I'm not allowed to dash, even though I play NRP. I pass 15% of the dash rolls I ever make.
I'm the guy in Blood Bowl that goes.
Naval Raiding Party gets extra dice to do that mechanically. So
I'm the guy in Blood Bowl that goes for it 3 times in a row, and I'll be like, "Oh, made it, touchdown!" Like,
yeah. No, I think Zach and I, our roles for dashing is very similar.
All right, Zach, if you can hang out, we're going to look at some community miniatures now.
Yeah,
anybody that's still here, we appreciate all you guys jumping in. There's a bunch of new faces. If you guys get a chance, please like and subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, comment below, all that stuff. There's a bunch of, I'm sure there's codes in the show notes for all the stuff we've been talking about.
Yeah, there's a link for trenchcrusade.com. And also, if you're interested in promoting Trench Crusade in your local area and talking to Zach and being part of the program, there is an email address to use to get to him. It's Zach at Synod Systems.
Yep.
Nice.
No, Synod.systems.
Synod.systems, yeah.
And in the notes. But yeah, and a whole bunch of other things for t-shirts and merch and that sort of thing as well.
Yeah, the hill goods and all that. Yeah.
But yeah, so we're about to show some photos from our Facebook group, the Build Paint Play community page. If you aren't a member of the group, come along and join us. Click on join group and somebody will let you in.
You can post what you're working on. If you have any questions, like we'll try to answer them. And you can also come on here and we'll answer questions live. Like I had a kid a couple weeks ago who was like, what if I wanted to paint, X? Like, how would I do that? I was like, you can message the groups. Like somebody will tell you. Like,
yep, absolutely.
Nice.
Aaron Provost.
Some old school Beaky Marines.
Yep.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Sons of Medusa. Remember the
yeah.
Sons of Medusa Land Raider last week?
Yep.
Very nice.
I'm loving the heavy bolter with the backpack and everything from the Devastator squad. That's the best.
Yeah, absolutely. And the cool Rhino.
Cat, don't worry, I got you. There'll be some Gorka stuff in here. You're gonna get.
Well, actually, sorry, Kat. Chris didn't post anything this week.
Oh, okay.
Didn't post.
I guess you have to go to Chris's website. Yeah, she's here. Like, oh, you guys got any of them Chris Gorka pictures?
Excellent. But excellent. No, Aaron said he sat down with his kid and was doing some just an art afternoon, so drawing afternoon, and he busted this out.
I super dig that style too. It reminds me of It's like Crom, the guy that did like Bird King and stuff. He's like a UK artist. It's really cool illustration.
This looks like it could be out of the Rogue Trader rule book. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Could be. But no, excellent work there, Aaron.
that's awesome.
Caitlin is continuing work on her Cathay army.
The lacquer on like the armor is so cool.
Yep.
Man, that chamfron on the horse is sick too. The dragon head. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
The red reminds me of that red polished woodwork that they do. in
Oh,
China.
yeah, yeah,
You've
yeah.
ever seen the antiquity pieces?
Yeah.
Kind of reads that way, which is really cool.
Cool. This whole army is beautiful.
Dude, that just W after W in that release. There's no bad designs. It's just
Absolutely.
crazy.
This next one as well.
Sick.
Yeah.
Dude, that thing's awesome.
I can't
It has
remember.
a weird name. I forget what it's called. It's like the Celestial General Longma or something,
Yeah.
but super cool.
But yeah, looking really nice. I think again the colors here, that the strong orange in that through that pale orange on the wing membrane.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And it works really well with that green.
That like pale jade on the scales really works. Yeah, they got a really good definition and contrast there.
It's so weird because
White
like
on the underbelly.
you look at this and there's so many colors going on, and you'd think it'd be busy, but like it's really controlled. Like the colors work really well.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of the that analogous scheme, the yellow, orange, red, gold are all working together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and your purple and that teal jade are very complementary too. So even your offset colors still sit really nicely together.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, beautiful work there, Kate. Looking good. Cal Benoni's printed up this crazy floating skull thing.
That's so sick.
It's I say floating skull thing. I guess it's like a beholder of some kind.
Well, but a beholder would have like eye stalks with more eyes, so
It
it could be a spectator. It could be a
I
spectator.
don't think all of them do. Yeah, it might be a spectator.
Yeah, I've never heard. I've heard of spectators before, but not in regards to a D&D character or a D&D monster or something like that. But yeah,
They're like lesser beholders.
Yeah.
I love that the colors that Cal's used here, like this sort of bony, sort of fleshy bony sort of color, just gives it a really almost it has like a translucent kind of feel.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's really creepy.
This reminds me of like if you would have found like an old 80s Masters of the Universe toy that like someone left in like a shed or a garage
Oh yeah.
40, 50 years ago, and then you find it, it's all faded and kind of like
Yeah.
age-ridden. Like
Yeah.
I can almost like smell that like old plastic toy when I look at this. And the eye looks kind of gummy, like that clear,
Like it's
clear
squishy.
plastic. Yeah.
If you touch it, you'll have like a film on your hand. You're like,
Film
oh,
on
the
your-
plastic
yeah.
melting.
Yep.
Um,
That's a cool piece.
Cal's in the chat. He says, I think it was an undead beast.
Okay.
Undead beast, capital U, capital B.
Nice.
But yeah, looking neat. I like it, Cal.
I'll take it.
He says, how do you
such a
know about
cool
my
piece.
shit from the 80s?
Yeah. 'Cause we all have one, my man.
We all have one. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Oh,
Cal also painted up this Goblin King,
Yeah, very nice.
which is great. Yeah.
I like the ashy, like powdered face. That's so good.
Yeah.
Down to Goblin Town.
And the use of the GW skulls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very nice. Dude, that box of skulls is the gift that doesn't stop giving.
Dude,
It's
it
so good.
doesn't end.
Hang on a sec. Have I got a sprue here? Yeah.
Yeah. It sits in the drawer in my right. I can just go in and grab from
Excellent.
the same box I bought years ago, and it's
A
still
buddy of mine bought like 2 or 3 boxes of those, and he's literally taking a Bane blade and turning into Yarick's tank. So he's filling in all the armor plates with skulls.
Right. Yep.
And I was like, that'll take forever.
Yep.
It'll look great when it's done, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a sick project.
Excellent. Kat says, you guys, your descriptions are outstanding. Weird, but outstanding.
We tried.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I really like that piece. That's super cool. The skin tones rock. Like, yeah, it's good.
Excellent stuff there, Cal. Next up, Chris Jones.
Oh, this is super cool. So I don't know if you saw what this is. So
Yep.
he wants to put there's a Land Raider variant that has a dozer blade, and he basically was like, I'm gonna use the dozer blade off the Vindicator kit, but it's not wide enough. So he like added to this and customized it to make it the right size for a Land Raider. It's rad.
Hell yeah! Is that the Explorator?
The Aries.
Yeah, the Aries.
Oh,
The Land Raider Aries.
oh,
It's so nasty.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
That's cool.
That's what the
Oh,
like now.
dude.
Yeah, see, he put like the extras on the sides and bulked it out with plasticard. Like it's awesome.
Yeah, it smashed it. That looks great.
Looks very cool. He's putting the body together at the moment. I think he posted some photos this afternoon. And he said he was having a little bit of PTSD from it. But
I bet.
Yeah.
It's great work though. I mean that reads wonderfully. It's gonna look solid when it's painted up.
I remember seeing this thing when they teased it, and I remember thinking it should have the dozer blade with the pneumatic arms, so you'd like smash into something, and then it would pivot up, so you could drop the assault ramp. Because I was like, how do the guys get out? You have to get out through the side, like in Terminator Armor. That's like going out through the window, Dukes of Hazzard style. That seems crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you had that lift, it'd be like coming out of a palisade because it's got the cover over the top. Yeah,
Yeah,
a full,
Roman shield wall
full
where they all
siege.
the Roman shield wall, like the front guys all lift their scutums, and
Lift
the whole
up.
second row runs out. Like
exactly. Yeah. That's so cool.
But yeah, looking great, Chris. Nice work.
I love it.
Dave Hummel's crazy.
Yeah.
I
was like, "Oh, did you do this by hand?" And he was like, "I wish it's a mask." So he puts it on and then paints the gray, and then but they look great. Like getting them that straight is really hard,
dude. Yeah. Either way, that looks awesome.
And he's got to do 4 wings total because like they has 2 of them, and you get them to line up so they look the same on the two wings is going to be crazy. But
well, this is the first one there,
dude. That's sick. Yeah.
But yeah, it just looks fantastic, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah,
that's a great showpiece. That's really cool. And props to you for doing that. That's so much work.
It is. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful work there, Dave. Did an excellent job. Fucking super cool.
Oh, somebody's asking in the chat about the dozer blade. I believe that was all done old fashioned. Like that's all plasticard and
yeah, it looks like it's all plasticard and a lot of sanding.
Yep. Yeah.
I love it. It makes me want to put a bulldozer on my Land Raider.
Yeah, I'm like thinking about the tanks I have for my Heresy Death Guard, and I'm like, maybe.
Totally do. Excellent. But yeah, awesome work, Dave. Nice one.
Yeah, those are great. They came out awesome.
There we go. He was also saying that Dave was saying that the Ares has Demolisher cannon, which is what pokes through that on the blade, but doesn't carry any troops.
So
you don't.
I thought it does. I thought it like instead of carrying 6, or instead of carrying
like the Drakasan does it.
Yeah. I thought it would just cut down on like what you could carry.
And, excellent. Nice work. There we go. I mentioned that I'd painted up a bunch of the Sacred Costolera. So I think the 4 at the back here are the ones, or these 4 were painted last week, but these 12 were the ones that I've been working on this week. So everybody now gets to have everything that is going to be silver painted black first, and then painted silver.
Nice.
Are you running them as Methodius, or like what do you?
At the moment, I'm just going straight regular trench coat. Is Methodius has the 2? You can have 2 anchorites. The I'm just going to switch this for a second. So the anchorite for the Sacred Costolera is this.
Yes, that's sick.
So
it's like a Jason the Argonauts kind of vibe.
Yeah, and a Metropolis vibe as well. So I am going to go back and have a look at it and see what other weapons I might put on it and how I might do that. And if that's the case, I will have be running 2 Anchorite Shrines.
Yeah, it's always good to have options.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm getting like 30 or 40 models for it. For a skirmish.
That's how Dave rolls. That way he's like, well, I have it if I need it. Like,
I need it.
Yeah.
For Adepticon 2 years ago, we did a challenge where each of us had to build a 2,000 point army. So I built 2,000 points. John Schaefer built 2,000 points. Jeff built 2,000 points. Dave built 8,000 points. Like it was like
it was 4.
Oh, sorry, 6,000 points. He built the same amount of points that we all did.
Yeah, that's what happened to me in my Death Guard. I was like, what is like 2,000 point games, 3,000 point games? I was like, yeah. I like finished the collection and they're like, how many points you had? I'm like 11,000. I can run anything I want.
It doesn't matter. But anyway,
no, it looks really good on my shelf.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of looking really good on the shelf,
Dude, I love this thing.
Yep.
This model is no joke. It's a ton of pieces.
Yeah,
I haven't even touched my box yet.
Dude, it's gross.
But looking great there, John.
Very nice.
I like the pink plasma. That's so good.
Yeah. We know that so over the last couple of weeks, John's been painting a lot of Sons of Horus vehicles, like Vindicators, Land Raiders, that kind of thing. This week it's
he did a Fellblade.
Last week he did a Fellblade.
They just announced the new plastic one.
Yeah, that's what
now he'll have 2.
Yeah. But yeah, John
have options.
Walker and
nice. Night Acheron.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So
I like how they're like, you know what's cooler than a chainsaw? A double chainsaw. And I was like, okay, like I'm like, how does it work? Do they come in from different angles? No, they're side by side. So that way you cut a slice off whatever you're cutting as you cut it in half. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, the kerf on that thing is wild.
Hilarious.
Yeah. But it does look fantastic. I saw somebody messing around with one of these, or with a what's the other, the Castigator?
Yeah.
One or the other, but it was the plastic kit. And as they were moving it, the ammo feed was jiggling around. And I was like, that is wild. I haven't put together my...
Oh, did they cut it?
Yeah, they're links. Yeah, they're links. It's crazy. I got to paint both of these for Dice Dojo. They were super fun to work on. Really, really cool kits.
I saw a guy who did a really cool, like I always like when people take big models and they do like cool stuff with them. I saw a guy who put a linkage in. So he has a guy in it's like the Bumblebee flyer that the Space Marines have.
Storm Talon.
It's Storm Talon. So I've never run one. I don't own that kit. But so he built one and he put a post through the Space Marine's head down through the cockpit into the chin gun that's on it. So wherever you move it, the Space Marine's head like changes. I was like, that is awesome.
That's so good. That's good.
I mean, it's super excessive, but I'm here for it. Like I was like, that's amazing.
Absolutely. Matt Ball says you get to keep the slice as a trophy.
No, you have to eat it. It's like when you're at the deli. That's the sample slice where they.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
But beautiful work there, John. Looking great.
Yeah.
Josh Danker is working on some 3D modeling.
I think this is going to be his death. I think this is his Death Watch Dreadnought.
Oh, okay. Radio.
That's why he has all like the tactical packs on like the other panel, like the.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure how he reloads the grenade launcher, but like,
I don't know if he can reach.
So maybe he's like workhorsing. He's workhorsing for the rest of the squad, I think. But
100%.
He's got there's a thrall that comes out and does that. Runs out behind the loads that jumps back in.
That's really cool though.
Yeah, it is looking good. Looking very cool.
Take it.
Nice work, Josh. Luis doing some more work on his Raven Guard Rhino.
Yeah, very nice.
So he's been showing us sort of the step-by-steps, going in and spraying the white, masking it off, spraying it black, and then the reveal.
Yeah, that looks good.
So
Yeah, he's got the doors are separate. He's got the printed forge roll doors. So
Yeah, those are great. I
Yeah.
splurged on all that stuff too. Totally worth it.
Absolutely.
you're like, I can stop anytime I want. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
dude, it's for fashion. It's fine. Do
Excellent.
what I
my
want with my battle
accessories.
Barbies. Yeah, dude, let me battle Barbie. Come on.
But looking great, Luis. We're looking forward to seeing some more. Speaking of Patrick Keith, who sculpted the Sacred Crostalera, has been working on some more of his scions, the Tempesta scions.
I like his little Texas notes hanging up with his orders, like Canadian Shock Troops 921, get on it. Order up. Slots, Sentinel, Ratlings. Like, that's hilarious.
Yep. Gotta have it done by. Yep. Very cool.
Amazing.
Looking great there, Patrick. Nice work.
It's a very zen workspace too. It's nice.
Right. Next up, Stephen Ryder.
Some more classic old school metal minis.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great.
Looking
Like
neat.
the rusty sword.
He's really hard to see with this background because the wall is almost the same color,
Right. Yep.
but it's a super cool model.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do like that this skeleton has a scabbard, so in case he gets tired of endlessly carrying on a sword, he's like, I'm going to put this away for a minute.
Yeah. Yep. Regain some strength.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, looking great there,
Rest
Stephen.
while enemies are nearby.
Yeah.
And I think that is it. So we can reveal next week's guest. Excellent. So
Nice.
Next week, we're going to be chatting with Dan Gomez from Heroes Brush Hour. I wanted to use this on the thumbnail because I don't know if you've seen Heroes Brush Hour at all, Zach. So Andrew on the left and Dan on the right there are two of the Warhammer Heroes, Games Workshop's Warhammer Heroes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Community engagement and community involvement. But they run a Twitch stream on Tuesday nights, starting at, I think, 9 p.m. Central, where one of them hosts, one of them is the challenge kind of thing, and then they bring on a challenger, and they spend an hour painting a miniature.
Oh, that's awesome.
While folks in the chat get to sort of throw in requests. Like,
Dude, I love it. That's awesome.
Dan has to jump up and do 10 jumping jacks.
Oh, they like donate bits or whatever to do, and the person has to do certain things. That's cool.
Can you imagine if you go to a show and you ran into one of them and just grabbed the sticker and didn't realize there were two, and you're like, so I have a sticker that says Herbraho, and then I have one that says Oz Ush and you're like, who? You're like, what is up with this guy? Like, why is
I
this?
was sitting there and I'm like, that's got to be really confusing. And they separate those.
Yeah, it totally confusing, but they were smart and they put like Twitch TV Heroes Brush Hour on both sides, just in case you only got one of them. But
I like it.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. So yeah, we're going to be talking with Dan on the right here.
Nice.
So it should be fun. We might even do some painting during it. We'll see how we go.
Let's not get crazy.
Yeah, we won't get crazy, but
I'm gonna be painting all this week.
Yeah. Nice.
It never ends.
That's true.
Well, Zach, listen, dude, thank you so much for coming on, man. It was awesome getting to talk to you some more and kind of dig into stuff and see some behind the scenes stuff at Trench Crusade and all the community stuff you guys are doing. I think one of the crazy things about the game is compared to some other games, like it's such a grim, like brutal, dark setting. And then like all the people I see playing are like, hey man, like it's always like super chipper, and you're like, wait, what? Like it is wild when you see that. But yeah, like you guys were killing it at Adepticon, like that your booth never stopped humming, and at Nova, like the response was phenomenal. Everybody I talked to who played the game was like, oh, I love it, and I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna start a new warband. I started a warband, I'm gonna start another warband. Like, so it's definitely one of those things where I think you guys have made it so welcoming and have done such a good job of being inclusive and wanting people to come sign up, that like the fact that Tomas did a great job making the game obviously speaks to itself. But you guys have done such a great job of creating a community of people. It's like, oh, I want to go try this out because it looks cool. And then it's like, I'm going to stay because the community is great. So that's awesome. That's all. That speaks to you guys and all the work you've done. So,
yeah, Absolutely. Very cool. So
anything else, Dave?
No, nothing else from me. I don't think.
Zach, what's next for you? What do you got coming up?
Oh, this is kind of like a lull for me in a way. It's nice as far as like events go. Trench Crusade will be at Crisis in I believe Belgium. They're going to be at Eschenspiel. That's the factory team, and a lot of our reps from those regions will be out there supporting. My next big thing is going to be Adepticon, so I've been diligently working with Sammy over the last month, even getting some of those surprises lined up. And there's going to be a lot of table building. So
You guys aren't doing like
Milwaukee's very close. Yeah.
You guys aren't doing like PAX Unplugged or anything like that, or?
I've reached out to them, so if they get back to me, I have people out there that are ready to go.
Okay.
So I've sent emails and I'm waiting on a response. That's pretty much where I'm at with PAX East and PAX Unplugged. So ideally, yes, we'll have demo teams out there doing their thing.
Are you sending Pete to Everwinter? That's up here in Boston. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
he's going to be. Yep, he's doing a narrative event for that, I believe. And I know Fowler and Pete are working on doing something else in Boston around demos and hobby nights at some like gaming store / pizza spot that they talked about that had a really cool name that I don't remember, to kind of get like just a monthly meetup kind of thing going out there.
For sure.
But it's nice because it's like Adepticon's just far enough away. A lot of that stuff that I would have to be focused on is kind of administrative. So I'm getting to kind of like step back and look at reorg for the volunteer program, getting all of our infrastructure stuff set up, setting up our resources, getting people tapped to do like the demo terrain project that we're doing, and working on a series of merch that's specific for the volunteer program, the observer program. So Robin Harris, who goes by Mystic Barbarism, he's an artist that I've been lucky enough to use for a lot of the stuff that we do around the volunteer program. So he did our Adepticon shirts, he did the Gun Angel design that we had at Nova, and he designed a patch specifically for the Synod. It's like an antenna with wings, and it's pretty sick.
Nice.
So we're gonna get pins and patches for that. Looking at trying to get just some kind of like neat, very specific game aids like objective markers, measuring sets, tokens, coins, just stuff that's really specific to just show levels of appreciation for the team and all of our volunteers and organizers locally. Because it's just like the work they've been doing is invaluable. So I just want to make sure that everyone feels like they're taken care of. And this is like a nice position where I don't have like a huge demand of my time, so I can focus on doing that stuff.
Having the lulls is important. Dave and I were talking about a couple weeks ago, like just the amount of shows that we do. And I was like, I need my downtime. I'm stoked. After I get through Granite State this weekend, I think I have a break for like 6 weeks. I don't do any shows in October. And I don't have one for the rest of September. And then the next one I have after that, I think is PAX.
PAX Unplugged, yeah.
I think it's PAX, and then in December I've got Everwinter. So I think I'm in the home stretch. I'm in the home stretch for my shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it starts
I might be going out to the UK in December. Dan Morris is a tattoo artist who runs Tooth and Talon, and he's kind of taking the pill big time with Trench Crusade, and he's gotten a bunch of the like local tattoo artists out there playing all the time, and they've been doing hobby nights at the shop. And I guess he's friends with Matt. Oh no, I forgot his last name. Anyways, he's one of the managers at Element Games out there, and so they're wanting to do a little mini convention thing called Tattoo Crusade.
Nice.
It looks pretty sick. I'm setting him up with some of our reps out there to get him done. He wants to do a couple demos. I think we're going to set up a handful of demo tables, and then if I can get out there, I'm going to run like a 4 or 5 mission narrative event for the tattoo artists that are going to be working through the event. So I think it's just that Saturday, and then that Sunday I'll run an event for all the artists so that they can like geek out and do their own thing. So
that's awesome. Well, Zach, again, thank you so much for being here, dude. I wish you all the best. Any shows you go to, I hope you have safe travels. And at the very least, Dave and I'll see you at Adepticon. So
for sure.
but hopefully we'll see you sooner. Maybe if things work out, like we'll both be at Unplugged. So if we see you there, that'll be rad. But I guess Dave, if that's all we got, I will send us home.
Yep, for sure. I think so. Just hang out for a second, Jack, after we close, and we'll wrap things up.
Yeah, well, we do our after hours thing.
No problem. I appreciate you guys having me on. This is
for sure. Obviously, everybody in the crowd was psyched. I mean, you got a lot of questions. People seem to really dig it. Again, Trench Crusade seems like it's really popular, which is good for everybody. Huge thanks to Zach. Thank you everybody for being here. Huge thanks to the Army Painter for sponsoring us. If you guys need anything, you can use our code down below in the show notes. You can use the BPD5, and you can, if you want to get those markers we talked about. I know that Army Painter said that they would fulfill any web orders before they ship out other orders, so you might get it a couple days early if you do that. You got if you ordered it like today, you'd probably get it for this weekend potentially. I wish you guys all the best. We will see you next week. Until time, be safe, and do not forget to build, paint, play.
Shut up and sit down.